Good morning, Fred. I'm assuming that you can hear me chewing on my hula hoops. I've nearly finished the pack, actually. And I've had a sausage roll. I know. I started eating the food before you got here. How's life, Fred? How's things? How's the world treating you? I'm a bit tired. Oh, you can hear me, marvellous. Oh, God. Get all my crinkly rubbish out the way. I've got a Kinder Bueno to eat. We'll eat that at some point during the live stream. Oh, I took a sip of me tea and it's still a bit too hot to drink. That's alright. Yeah, I'm a bit tired today, Fred, I'll be honest. I've not been sleeping that great. And I don't know why. But, you know, it's fine. I think. I am pathetically oversensitive to the tiniest change in routine, right? And I think this doing overtime on Sundays has just kind of messed me up a little bit. But it's fine. It's fine. I've decided I'm not going to work next Sunday. I'm working tomorrow, but I'm not going to work next Sunday. Give myself a break. It doesn't sound like it should be that much extra work just doing a little 4-hour shift on a Sunday. And it's not the work. I think it's the having to get up 6 days in a row. You know what I mean? Having to get up and get ready. Ugh. It's alright though. You'll have to drop out of the comment section in about an hour and a half. That's alright, Fred. I don't know how long the whatever this is, the live stream's gonna be actually. I'm gonna aim for 3 hours. We'll aim for 3 hours, I think, since I need to be at work tomorrow. Like I say, I am quite tired. That's alright though. It's fine. Everything's fine. Sometimes I just get myself into a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a something where nothing feels right. I don't know what it is. I just get myself into a bit of a something where I'm like, oh, nothing feels right. But it's alright. You're headed to a film festival. Oh, Fred, get you. It's very exciting. So, should we get cracking? I've been quite excited. I've been quite excited to do this because we are still on Eridanos and we are busy solving a murder mystery, aren't we? And right, I was gonna say, because I think actually, do you know what? I'm gonna open my Kinder Bueno because it's just gonna sit there taunting me with its chocolatey goodness. I think last week we got a little bit wife happy, right? Because I came into this DLC on the hunt for a 6th future wife, right? Because I've got 5 future wives and I was like, I need a 6th future wife so I can be like Henry VIII, right? Maybe a 7th so I can beat Henry VIII's record, right? But I think I got a bit future wife happy. I think we went a bit too far. I need to be a bit more discerning because now suddenly we're up to like 9 future wives and I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. I think I need to set my standards a bit higher because just like basically everybody was becoming my wife last week and I can't keep up with it. So I'm narrowing down a shortlist. Also, it's worth noting that this is a murder mystery and I don't know who did it yet. Like, if one of them turns out to be the murderer, that might make her not future wife material. But then, it would depend why she murdered her. I mean, you know, we don't know whether Halcyon Helen might have been up to something nefarious. The murderer might have had a good reason to do the murder. We just don't know. But
ready when you are.
So, Nilka, don't rush me, alright? This is intro business, alright? This is important stuff. So, there was the doctor lady, whose name I can't remember. She's number one at the minute, even though I can't remember her name. She's top of my list because I really liked her. She was cool. And you couldn't even see her face. And I still liked her. So, you know. And then there was the other lady, Maria, who was with her. She's number 2. I'm keeping Ada as like a safety wife, just in case, you know, nobody else comes through. And that's where we're at the minute, alright? Those 2 are on the short list. And then there was the concierge lady, who I thought might be alright for a sort of friends with benefits kind of a situation. You know, a bit of a mistress on the side. On the side of my 17,000 wives. Oh dear, this is a very nice cinematic view of Titwillow we got here. This is lovely, I'm really liking this. Our little clue detector. Right. Okay. So, oh, that's right, there were drunk primals, weren't there? Who we managed to kill. I don't know why they were drunk, but they were. Oh, it's so pretty. Right, so we tracked... I remember things. We tracked Halcyon Helen's footprints to here. Where it looks like somebody planned a romantic picnic and then things went a bit to shit. And I theorised that her ex planned the romantic picnic to try and win her back, and when she got here she was like, no, that's not happening, and then it all went a bit sideways. That's what I think happened. And now we need to go to the R&D labs because we got a key card for them, and that is the only reason. Oh, look how pretty it is. Oh, it's so pretty, man. So pretty. Oh, this isn't where I thought it was. Also, there's a person. Hello, person. Hang on a minute. I need to get a hammer out. Hello, what are you? You're a rupturing host. Oh, yeah, there was creepy people with worms in them, wasn't there? I'd forgotten about that. Hi. Okay. Oh, and there's also giant worm. Oh! Parasite spawnling? What the actual hell? Okay. Hang on. Are you being sick? And this is just all levels of horrible what's going on here. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, the demented laughter is a bit creepy there, darling. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I forgot about the creepy parasite people. And yet everybody else seems to be ignoring the creepy parasite people. Like, there are just mad people wandering around with parasites crawling out of them. And everybody's just like, everybody else that we've talked to, like, we can't even mention it. We can't even say, do you know there's mad people with parasites in them running around out there? Like, just nobody seems bothered. Everybody's acting like it's normal and it's freaking me out. But it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So...
Just once I'd like to investigate a corporation without having to trod through the nightmare that is their R&D department.
R&D department in this case. Nyoka. What does R&D stand for? I don't know what R&D stands for. Am I supposed to know what R&D stands for? Because we've had to go to R&D labs before, haven't we? But I don't know what it stands for. Stuff, probably. Oh, I've been working on the lore videos. I'm getting a bit creative. I'm getting quite creative with them, Fred. I mean, I feel like they're going to take quite a while, I think, because I'm trying to, like, put proper effort into them and everything. Because originally I was going to be like, oh, I'm going to have, like, 12 ready for October, and then we're going to upload them once a week. And now I'm like, that's probably not going to happen. We might have 3 or 4 ready for October. And maybe they can go up, like, every 2 weeks, possibly. Probably they'll just end up going up as and when they're ready, to be honest. But, yeah, I'm getting a bit creative. I'm doing creative things. There's a cat. Hello, cat. Hello. No, you're not going on my laptop. You're not going on my laptop, Scorpio. You're not doing that. Mm-hmm. Hello. You okay? I committed flea genocide. I did the whole flat with flea spray. And I gave them flea tablets. And then there were a lot of dead fleas that I found around the place. So, you know. I did see one alive flea on Star yesterday or the day before. So I haven't completely eradicated them. So I'm going to have to do it again at some point. But certainly there's a lot less than what there was. And it didn't seem like it was a very well flea because it didn't manage to run away from me. So I think it might have been dying. Ooh. So, you know. That's one problem solved, isn't it, Scorpio? Yay! We solve one problem and then another one just appears in its place. Such is the nature of life. Research and development is what R&D stands for. Ah! So what does RR and DD stand for then? Research, research and development,
Who feels like getting into trouble?
I feel like getting into trouble, Ellie. But there's a cat in my way, so, you know, I can't do much of anything at the minute. Can I Scorpio dope? Can't do much of anything. What's that on my keyboard? God, have you seen the state of my keyboard? I need to clean it, Scorpio. Hey, where do you think you're going? Scorpio. Scorpio. Scorpio, what are you doing? What are you doing? No flea stories when you're drinking. Do you not like fleas, Fred? Fred doesn't like fleas. We definitely shouldn't mention fleas again. Let's not mention fleas again, Scorpio. Absolutely not mention fleas again at any point in this live stream, alright? So if you want to talk about fleas, Scorpio, we have to wait until after the live stream's over because Fred doesn't want to hear about fleas. We not mention fleas. Okay. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello. Hello. Oh. It's going to be one of those live streams, is it? That's okay, Scorpio. That's okay. Anything big happening, Fred? Anything worth talking about? I feel like I had things lined up to talk about, and I can't remember what any of them were. Should we put full cat cam on? Boop. There we go. We're what? 13 minutes in, and we're already on full cat cam. Very cute voice, Bobs. You are. Turnips. Alright, Fred. I nearly made don't mention water. Live stream rule. I couldn't believe when that article popped up, the one I put on the Discord. The one that was like, what was it, 43% of Brits don't drink plain water or something like that. It's like, that's an odd coincidence. Almost makes me think the computers are listening to us, Scorpio. Hello.
So what's the plan?
Car died yesterday, had to get a new battery. I had to get a new battery put in my car not like a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. Yeah, I've got nothing for you, Fred. I'm too tired. That's what it is. I'm just too tired. Yeah. I am regretting the whole doing overtime on Sundays thing. Although, I mean, to be fair, because it was payday yesterday. And I did have like 200 quid more than normal, which was nice. But I'm just like... So I'm going to work tomorrow and then I'm going to have the Sunday after that off. And then I'm going to see how I feel. Because originally I was like, oh, I'm going to work every Sunday until October. And I'm like, I feel like that was a bit ambitious. I'm not cut out for it, Fred. I don't have the stamina. I don't have the stamina to be a workaholic. Hello. Okay, sweetie. I don't like this time of year as well, to be fair. I feel like August, September, I always just go into a bit of a, I just go a bit, And then October will get here and I'll come alive. Oh, nice, Whoopi. I'll come alive. Yeah. It's not long. It's like 8 weeks or something till October. It's not long at all. 7 weeks. 7 weeks? I think it's 7 weeks. Oh, Scorpio, what are you doing? Haven't got much fan fiction writing done lately. Number of mini crises at work. Oh dear, Fred. Oh dear. We've been quite short. I see. I feel like this is maybe another reason why I'm feeling a bit not right, like something's out with kilter. Because, like I say, I'm pathetically oversensitive to like changes in routine or changes in anything, and because it's the school holidays at the minute, a lot of people are on holiday who are normally in. You know what I mean? Because like parents
Ready
get
when you
holiday
are.
through the school holidays, so that they don't have to find babysitters. So there's like loads of people who aren't in who are normally in at work, and then like all of like the seasonal stuff, like the university students and things, are in when they're not normally in, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I like everything to just be normal. This is why I go funny over Christmas as well, because everything just goes a bit weird. And I'm like, no, I like everything to be the same. Just all the time. Just day in, day out. Same people, same routine. That's what I like. But there's only like 3 weeks left of the school holidays. I'll be back to school soon. We're also very short-staffed because we've got a lot of, like, got loads of people off on bereavement. So, you know. So it's just all a bit weird at the minute. It's all a bit weird, Spooky. I don't like it when things go weird. I like everything to just be. But anyway, it's fine. Going to Florida for a weekend at the end of the month. Wow. I've never had key lime pie, you know. It's not really a thing over here. It always looks nice though. I always like the idea of it. I remember somebody made a key lime pie on Great British Bake Off once. They had American Week. I remember that. They had American Week on the Great British Bake Off. And they had to make American inspired pies. So there you go. So they were making like pumpkin pies and key lime pies and things like that. And apple pies. I'm getting a beautiful cinematic view of Titwillow and you can't see her. You can just see me and Scorpy. Alright, there, Scopes. Oh, that was a big sigh. It's a big sigh, Scopey. Much easier to deal with work when you have no customers, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That is true. It's much better when there's no customers. Fred's getting creative with emojis, Scopey. That's how much we're boring him right now. He's like, I'm gonna have to just try and communicate in hieroglyphs to make it more interesting.
So what's the plan?
Alright, sweetie. You're right. Yeah, okay. Ew. New York is getting impatient, is she? I don't have my headphones on. Man, Scorpy, we're annoying my future wife. And she's my future head wife as well. She's like the most important of the wives. She's the chief wife. She's the wifiest wife. She's the ultimate... I can't even talk. The ultimate wifiest. I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Think of anything else. I'm sure I had like things to talk about lined up in case this happened, because I always have like, I try to think of things, you know, just in case we end up in a cat cam situation. Try to think of like conversation topics. It's all gone. She keeps saying, so what's the plan? I don't know, Scorpio won't tell me. He's just looking at me pensively, Nyoka. He won't tell me what the plan is. What's the plan, Scorpio? No? Okay. Oh, you're not having me tea. That's a step too far. You can jump up and disrupt my live stream if you want, but you're not having me tea. There's 3 people watching this, although I think 2 of them are Fred. So there's a lurker. There's a lurker who's just watching you. And they've hung in for a really long time. I'm proud of them, whoever they are. What's up, Scorpy? Oh, you're looking at me very suspiciously. It's looking at me like this. What are you up to? All of a sudden, he'll just decide he doesn't want to be here anymore, and he'll just get up and jump off.
Anyone got a smoke?
You have a sniff. Well, I know I was going to tell you, which I thought you might be interested in. So, oh, I just hit my teeth with the mug. Oh, don't you hate when you do that, when you go to take a drink and you hit your teeth? What was I going to say? Oh, because I'm like saving money at the minute, so I cancelled all like my Netflix and my Disney Plus and everything like that. So I've been trying to find things to watch, and I've been on YouTube, and the BBC has a YouTube channel called the BBC Archive, which I mean, I've been subscribed to them for ages, but you know when you're subscribed to something and then because it seems interesting, but you never actually watch anything. But they upload like, well, like news segments, but also like full documentaries from the BBC from like the 1970s and 80s. Basically, pretty much anything like pre-2000, but most of it's like the 70s and the 80s. And I've been watching the documentaries because they're just like about random stuff. Just stuff. Like, I mean, you know me, I like to just learn about just stuff. Just random stuff, like just things. Just random things. And I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll watch a documentary about that. That looks like it'll be interesting. And I don't know, there's something really nice about them. There's something really nice about telly from the 80s. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the microphones and how they recorded people's voices, or like the way people talked back then, or something like that, or just the way that it's all put together. It's really relaxing and really chill, but there's some like really genuinely interesting things on there. Like they did one about oh, the Bishop Rock Lighthouse. I was trying to think what it was called there, which is like, they call it the last lighthouse in England. It's the most southern lighthouse, and it's like literally just in the middle of the ocean. And if you keep going from it, you don't hit anything until you hit America. So it's like right out in the middle of nowhere, and they have to use well, I mean, it's automated now, so that it's not manned anymore, and there's a helipad on the top if they need to get to it. But back in the 80s, there isn't like a dock where you can dock the ship because it's just on a rock. And they had to use like winches and pulleys to get people up onto the lighthouse. And honestly, it's a genuinely really good documentary. It's really interesting. And then they did another one about the mills in Lancashire, I want to say. Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Oh, I'm on the wrong account. On my Magpie account. It needs to be on my real one.
Ready when you are.
Where are we? BBC Archive. Videos. You've got funny things like 1982, can computers think? 1981, will the DeLorean motor car be a success? 1963, living on a fun fair. 1995, what's next for Amstrad? 1973, life on the last lighthouse. That was the one. And then, what's that? 1972, has King James IV been reincarnated? I haven't watched that one yet. Oh, 1990, should shops open on Sundays? It's just so interesting, I think, when you go back and look at like things they were debating like 40 years ago. 1980, could you be a London cabbie? Oh, this one's good. 1998, can computers and phones combine? Yes, they can. 1969, how do you live on the average wage? Voice of the people. Oh, that was a good one as well. 1977, exploring the Lancaster Hole, beneath the Pennines. So the Lancaster Hole is a giant cave system that a group of cavers found, and it's like the biggest cave system in England. And they did a documentary about it, and it was actually really good. '67, Clyde shipworkers building the QE2. Which I think it's so interesting, especially like, you know, I'm a history nerd. I always think it's interesting to go back and like see what people were saying. I can't bloody find the one I'm looking for though. Oh, 1998, predicting the next millennium. Newsnight. Ooh, 1963, camping in Yosemite. 1987, how to grow a world champion leek. It'd be hilarious if somebody tunes in right now expecting an Outer Worlds live stream. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it, Scoopy? 1958, life of a London family. 1981, Life of the Extremely Wealthy. I can't
The
find the
hunters
fucking one
wait
I'm looking
patiently.
for, though.
No prey arrives. The
But I can't
hunters
pass
leave
it.
hunger.
Ooh, 1994, the year I was born. Can British tennis produce a winner? Eventually, love, eventually. Oh, there it was. 1986, the last day for the mill workers. About the mills in... Was it Lancaster? I want to say Lancaster. Or Lancashire. One of the two. One of the two. Hang on. I thought it was really... I'll tell you why I thought it was interesting. Hang on. Just need to... Lancashire, yes. Okay, so... yeah, so the Lancashire, the mill workers. So I'll tell you what I found really interesting, because it's about these like working class families, and in Lancashire the whole industry was the mills, right? So like in my neck of the woods, the whole industry was the mines, and if you lived here, you worked in the mines, and that was it. And my mum talks about her dad and how he left school when he was 13. And he left the school on the Friday and he was down the pit on the Monday, because that's just what you did. You left school and you went down the mines. That was it. That was life, right? You didn't, there was no like, what are you going to do when you leave school? That was your life. If you, because he wanted to be a preacher, but he couldn't, because that just wasn't what you did. If you were from that kind of family, you left school and you went down the mine. So he left school when he was 13 and he went down the mine. And that was his life. And in Lancashire, it was the mills. So you left school when you were 13, 14, whatever. And you went and worked in the mills. And that was like men and women, because only men went down the mines. So the women weren't working in the mines up here. I know my grandma had worked in a shop. I think that's what most women did. They did like shop work or secretarial, that kind of thing. But like in Lancashire, men and women work in the mines. So that's what you did. They would leave school when they were like 14 and they would go and work in the mills, right? And that was just it. And that was life. And that documentary from the 80s, 86 or whatever it was all about like... Because by this point, most of the mills are closing. I mean, I don't know if there's any left now. But, like, in 86, did I say it was? Something like that. Like, most of the mills have closed, but there are still a few mills. And you've still got these working class families who just, like... It was about the ones who were coming up to retirement, or the ones who had retired. And they had done that sort of, like, left school when they were 14, went in the mill, spent their whole life in the mill, spent their whole life living in Lancashire. And, I don't know, I found it oddly wholesome. Like, it was just like, they were interviewing this one woman and she'd just retired, and she was like, she'd been forced into retirement because she'd hit retirement age and therefore she had to retire. Whereas it's not like that now. I mean, there's a lot of people I work with who are at retirement age and they've got their pension, but they still carry on working just because they want to. And
So what's
but they were interviewing her and how like she'd been forced into retiring because she'd hit retirement age, and she was like, I don't really want to retire. Because I've worked all my life and I don't know what else to do. And she was like, I miss my friends. And that was the bit that really got me. I was like, because that's what where I work is like. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, there's just something, I don't know, like, sometimes I hate being off work, you know. Like, I mean, I like to have a week off now and then, but sometimes if I have like 2 weeks off, by the end of that second week, I'm like, get me fucking back in there. I've started like lose my grip on reality. There's something so nice, but I don't know, there was just something so nice about it. And they were like filming them all just sitting around talking and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Because I mean, it sounds like from the outside looking in, it sounds quite sad that you're sort of like, you're born in a town and you leave school at 14 and you go and work in the mill and you spend your life working in the mill and you never leave the town. But I think it's probably not. Like, a lot of life would have gone on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sounds very boring when you say it like that, but it would have been life. It would have been, you know, the people that you worked with would have been like, it would have been this, just, I don't know. It was a really good document. Like, I really enjoyed it. And it just reminded me, like, so much of like where I work is like, because the shop I work in, it's in one of those towns where most people who are born there never leave, you know what I mean? And sometimes you've got like 3 generations of the same family working in that shop. And there's something just really nice about it. I don't know. I found it really wholesome. But I tell you what I thought was funny when I was watching it was because the first bit is all about like that and just interviewing the workers about their lives and you know, their life working at the mills and things like that and how things are changing and stuff like that. And then there's a bit where they're in a pub and they're interviewing the pub goers and it gets a bit political. And what I always think is funny is that everything they were saying is exactly the same as what people are saying today. Like if they went into a pub to talk about immigration and they were saying, and you had the ones who were kind of going, well, we need the immigrants because we need more workers, and then you had the ones who were going, yeah, we've got a housing crisis and we should sort that out before we start inviting people in, right? And that is exactly what people say today. That is exactly what people say today about immigration, right? And then they were talking about all the younger generation coming through, and you've got all the older ones going, well, you know, these young kids that are coming through, they just don't want to work. And then you've got the actual younger generation who would have been like what we now call the boomers. You know, it would have been them. That was the younger generation that they were talking about, who are going, well, they don't pay enough wages for us to live on. And it was better for the previous generation because stuff was cheaper for them and wages were higher. And that's exactly, that is what every generation says, isn't it? Every generation, when they're the young up-and-comers, say, well, wages aren't as good as they used to be and the cost of living is higher. And the older ones go, well, the young ones just don't want to work. It just makes me laugh. Because it just goes to show, doesn't it? Oh, and there's not enough jobs. That was another thing the younger ones were saying. There's not enough jobs. So I think the younger ones always say that. And then by the time they're the older ones, the younger ones coming through will go, well, there was more jobs in your time. It just makes me laugh. Because it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like, it's not that young people don't want to work. There's always young people who want to work. And there's always ones who don't want to work. And there's always jobs, but there's never enough jobs. Hey, don't you dare go anywhere, Scorpio. I'm like, phew, full on into tangent mode here. It's about who you choose to listen to, that's what it is. The young generation who don't want to work are going to complain about how they have to work, and then you sort of think, well, the young generation don't want to work. But really, the ones who are out there working, you don't hear about because they're too busy working. Do you know what I mean? It just makes me laugh. What are you doing, Scorpio? What are you doing? Oh, no, oh, Scorpio! You're not going to make me play the game. Oh, you've just farted. Oh, Scorpio. That's why you've left. That's why you've left. You left me with the stink. Fuck's sake, that's why he just ran off, honestly. He was like, oh shit, I'm not staying around for that. Fucking arsehole. You an arsehole? Yes. Anyway. Shall we crack on with this game that we're supposed to be playing, apparently? Oh, my tea. My tea's gone cold. Hang on, I need to just neck my tea. Ah. Human nature is constant. Time passes, but people remain the same. I know, right? That is true. I'll tell you what else I thought was funny. Is that when you watch these old documentaries, everybody always thinks that the generation before were happier. And it's never true. Because I was watching the Lighthouse documentary, they were talking about because the lighthouse was built in 18 something or another. So, you know, it's stood there for however many, I don't know, like 200? No, 100 and something years it had been there. Anyway, and they were talking about the original lighthouse keepers and what it must have been like in their time, right? And so they're just sitting around talking about that. The lighthouse keepers from the 70s are sitting around talking about the previous lighthouse keepers when it was first built and what must it have been like for them. And one of them goes, well, they were probably much happier than we are. And the other one goes, you may well be right. And I was thinking that people always think that the previous generation were happier. Always. They always think, oh, they did things better than what we do. Like, no. And I remember watching an episode of Call the Midwife which is a very poignant show, which always makes me think. It always gets me little thinky brain going. It's a very philosophical show. It's very, yeah. And at the beginning of each episode, it's always like narrated by what's her name, Vanessa Redgrave, and there was one where she said something along the line, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of, when we can't find what we're looking for in the present day, we look to the past and pretend that we had it then. And I thought, you know what, that is so right, isn't it? We always look to the past and we go, oh, that we should be doing things the way they were doing it. And it's like, no. It just always makes me laugh, because I'm like, I mean, when you start to, like, study history in any form, even if it's just listening to lots of podcasts like what I do, you soon realise that, like, we are living in the pinnacle of human society at the moment. Like, this is as good as it has ever been, right? I mean, I know it varies from country to country, but, you know, if you're in, like, a first world country, like, this is it. You are enjoying a level of daily luxury that people, even just a few decades ago, wouldn't have been able to dream about. Like, and when people go like, oh, modern day life is so stressful and we're all just so busy, and I'm like, are you being serious? People have never been less busy. We're like 100 years ago, they were passing legislation to bring in like a mandatory 10-hour working day because most people worked more than that. Like, come on. My mum talks about the days of her dad working 6 days a week and then having to go to church like 3 times on a Sunday. Like, there was no such thing as an actual day off. Like, you know, not to mention how much work would used to go into things like doing the washing, you know, whereas now, you do 20 minutes of housework every day and you're fine. Like, you know, it just always makes me laugh. We just always think that people in the past were happier, and it's just like, no, that's not a thing. That's never been a thing. Like, you know, they probably had, that's another thing as well, when you get to the heart of it, people in the past always had exactly the same worries and the same issues, only usually like 10 times worse. Anyway, now that we've put the world to rights, the world to rights, should we actually, like, go and do whatever the hell it is we're supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be going in here to, like, solve a murder or some shit. Yesterday we have things like air conditioning. Imagine living in bad old days when no one had that on. I know, right, Fred? The friggin' Dark Ages. Actually, there's a YouTuber I watch sometimes who's in Montana, right? And he was talking about how, this was a few weeks ago, how it had been quite hot by Montana standards. And he was talking about how he often gets people like from California and things commenting about how it's not really hot when he's complaining about it being hot. And he was saying, yeah, but in Montana we're not built for it. We're not built for the heat, right? And he said, would you believe that there are some houses here that don't actually have air conditioning? And I was sat there going, oh my god, can you imagine? Can you imagine a house without air conditioning? Made me laugh. Anyway.
I can hear you out there. If you still possess the majority of your mental capacity, please locate the test room through the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass.
Okay, Dr. Blossom, you might be a potential future wife. Dr. Blossom is an awesome name. Like, I would be prepared to change my name to your name. I could be Titwillow Blossom. Imagine. We never come up with a surname for Titwillow, have we? She's just Titwillow. Tanky Titwillow. Titwillow's enough. She doesn't need a surname, does she? Right, okay, so she was talking to us through there. I'm just gonna do everything first, Mrs. Sexy Voice, and possibly hack this terminal, if I can. Messages. From Department Reception to Department Utility, subject cleanup request. Hello, I'm so sorry I haven't had the chance to get your name yet and update the terminal. When you have a moment, could you bring a mop to the lobby? Dr. Blossom seems to have had a rather rough night and spilled some coffee on the floor. Okay. From Dr. Blossom. Subject, what in the Architect's Blue Blazes is going on? What in blessed corporate law? Oh, Scorpio! You've had your bit of cat cam. You can't just come back up here. It's Scorpio. 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 Scorpio! You're sitting on the laptop! Scorpio! Oh, what have you done? Oh, Scorpio. Oh, how well, lad. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Scorpio. Oh, what? Stop it! Stop it. You're a dipstick. You're a dipstick. She'll put cat cam on. Now I'm going to have to move the camera so they can actually see you. Ooh. Whoa! Well, that was me knocking my keyboard off the table, and now... Hang on. You down there so they can see you. Hang on. There. They should be able to see you. And then I just need to put the game back. There we go. Fuck's sake, I'm going to have to... I realised we could see the thingy at the minute. And Scorpio, what the fuck have you done? Like, is the fuck's sake. His bloody tail keeps knocking the keyboard on the laptop and he keeps opening things up. Just stop it. Right. Okay. Stop it! I'm going to throw you out the window. You're a dipstick. Okay. 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 I'm going to move the laptop out of tail whacking vicinity. Okay. Yes, I realise we can see the taskbar at the minute. I'll sort that out in a minute. Right. Okay. What in blessed corporate law is all that commotion down there? I don't believe the rocket fuel combination distillery mixture was scheduled for another week. Could someone please inform me as to what the racket is all about? Better have a damn good reason for interrupting my meeting with the administrator. I expect a full explanation and apology within the next 15 minutes or people are going to start losing jobs. Maybe she's not future wife material. She seems a bit arsey. Like, she seems like she would be a nightmare to get into an argument with. Right, okay. Settings. Can I full screen you? Full screen. Apply. Scorpio, you cause nothing but chaos. Keep. You cause nothing but chaos, Scorpio. Is cat cam on? I hope cat cam's on. Let's assume cat cam's on. I don't know. Let's go talk to what's her name? Dr. Blossom. See if she's future wife material. Hello. Hi.
How in the aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will.
You're not future wife material. You're being too rude. Have you also been putting worms in people? You seem like the kind of person who might be putting worms in people. Right. I'm investigating Halcyon Helen's murder. Was she here recently? Who are you? Just exploring board this place. It looks like it's seen better days. Or lie. Surprise inspection. I'll need to walk through the facility and access to your computronic systems. Yeah, sure. We'll say that.
Oh, please. Do I look like some simpleton groundskeeper to you? You do know I possess one of the highest IQs in all of Eridanos.
Definitely not future wife material. Okay. Yeah, why are you working in a rundown abandoned lab?
Okay, Rungleach, you got me there. But it's not run down. It's merely, under a state of duress due to an outbreak of pandemonium at the moment. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab.
Okay. Didn't see any hostiles on the way here from the entry door. You could make a run for it. Yeah, but they're all like worm-possessed people outside. What goes on in these labs would turn your efficiency. that would turn your... What? Hang on. What goes on in these labs that would turn your researchers against you? I'm assuming it's worm related. Scorpio, you just put your ears down so I can read the thing. There isn't anything you can do to help if I had more persuade. Do I not have Pavati with me? Is she not making me persuasive? Scorpio, I swear to God, if you do not stop hitting my laptop with your tail, I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to kick you out. Titwillow likes him more submissive. Oh, she's definitely a top, is Titwillow. I can take care of your problem, but I'll need you to answer some questions afterward. Okay, right. What goes on in these labs that would turn your researchers against you?
Oh no. They're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand?
No, I do not understand. Mrs. Definitely not future wife. I can't... Scorpio, I can't see the screen. You're being awkward, Scorps. Scorps, you're being awkward. Why are you being awkward? Because you're a putty and you're allowed to be if you want. I mean, fair enough, I suppose. Oh, come on, your secret's safe with me, Dr. Blossom.
Call me a skeptic, but no, I don't believe it would be. Loose lips think new product ships, you know?
Okay.
Happily, of course.
Okay. I'll take care of your problem. But I'll need you to answer some questions afterward.
Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Better than cold-blooded murder.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
Okay, I'm fairly sure cat cam is just a lot of floof at the minute. She makes the brown vodka with bugs in it. Possibly, or maybe she makes the bugs themselves. I don't know. I don't know where the bugs come from. I was going to look up tequila with the worm in, but I didn't. I forgot. Well, I really don't like worms. I feel like I would regret it if I looked up the tequila with the worm in it. But you know, Scorpy, you're being very awkward. It's not that I don't love you. I just would rather love you and have you be somewhere else, is all. Like on the windowsill, maybe. Or on the floor. Like not here. Oh, Scorpy. Cat cam is 90% floof, yeah. Oh, okay, that's fine. Right, so we've got red things on the map. We've got a utility terminal down there. I feel like we've got to try and not kill any of them.
It's not worth it, buddy.
I beg your pardon, Ellie. Also, we don't have Pavati with us. Did we not have Pavati with us? Am I hallucinating? I might be hallucinating. I'm very sleep deprived. Right. Ooh. Before Rizzo's was the confectionery juggernaut you know and love today, it was an above-average chemical waste management corporation. On one otherwise unremarkable day, an employee on the slurry-stirring shift leaned a little too far over a chemical vat, dropping a single purple berry that had been hidden in his jacket pocket. Instead of being immediately fired for his hazardous incompetence, the employee was given an ultimatum by his superior: retrieve the fallen fruit and stay employed. The employee jumped into the vat, swam for the purple berry, and accidentally swallowed it. The rest is history. After he was pulled from the toxic waters, the stirrer stated that the chemical-coated purple berry hadn't been half bad before falling into a toxic coma, giving his superior the idea to sterilize and adjust the chemical mixture for human consumption. Soon the sour, sweet-coated purple berries were more or less edible, becoming Rizzo's first mass-marketed product, the purple berry punch. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, right. So yeah, I feel like we are supposed to try to not kill them. Does that mean I have to be sneaky? Oh, I feel like that's going to end badly. I mean, we're not exactly an inconspicuous troop, are we? Okay. Use terminal. So... greetings, employees and lab staff. Find helpful memorandums and news here. Memo, mind the gas canisters. Hello, everyone. This is your friendly custodial staff offering a preemptive apology if the elevator hall is crowded with gas canisters. There are quite a few of them, and only one of me, so I'm moving them in loads down to the utility room. Do be cautious, they're filled with a sedative potent enough to put a hungry Raptidon out cold. Thank you for your understanding. Okay. Dear esteemed colleagues, my team and I are heading to the Grand Colonial's bar this evening for some drinking and fellowship. All real scientists are welcome to join us. Ooh! Oh, there may be some scientists who are considered not real scientists. You know, the ones that produce quantifiable data and theorems and don't spend their time jabbering over how this lighting on that bottle will increase customer sentiment. Cheers from someone who understands that market researchers aren't real scientists. Oh, I think you'll find there's a lot of science that goes into marketing. Like, a huge amount of science goes into marketing. So, yeah. Okay. Team, as we continue our new round of research and product development, I am increasing the required safety gear for lab workers involved. As some of you know, a few recent accidents involving subjects have left workers maimed, scarred, and one worker had their left hand permanently discoloured to a shade of lime green. Rizzo's Research and Development District Labs is expected to continuously produce revolutionary advancements in the food and beverage industry. These measures will help us in further pursuit of that mission. Dr. Blossom, who is becoming less and less of a future wife candidate every minute. Right. Okay. Oh, tequila picture in the Discord. Am I going to regret this? Oh, I feel like I'm going to regret this. I feel like I'm going to regret this. Oh my god! What kind of worm is it? And like, why? I don't understand. Why is there a worm? What's the point of the worm? It's not alive, is it? It must be a dead worm, surely. It's a dead worm, right? Right? Scorpio, they really can just see floof, you know. You could at least put your head down over here so they can see you. Like, there's nowhere else I could put the camera, really. Unless I'm just going to hold it. Yeah, you give it a sniff. What does Fred smell of? What does he smell of, Scorpy? I pop it back there. You might be able to see him. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Okay, right. So, we need to head down. Okay. I'm having to play this with the keyboard on my knee and the mouse on the arm of my chair because there's a fucking cat where they're supposed to be. There he is. Little arsehole. Right. It's dead. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But why is it there at all? I don't understand. Why is it a thing? The worm is a marketing thing. Eating it proves how macho and badass you are. What, is that it? It's not like a flavour thing or anything. Oh, Scorpio! You just made Tate Willow brandish a hammer. Like, is that it? It's literally just... I wonder how that came about, though. I wonder who thought we should put a worm in here. There must be a history to that. Right, Scorpio. You're being very awkward, Scorpio. You're being very awkward. You're being so awkward, I'm going to drop a quick save. Right. So, I'm going to go into sneaky mode, because I'm going to try and not kill anyone. Because I think they're all worm-possessed. And I don't want to kill worm-possessed people if I can avoid it, because it's not their fault. I believe once upon a time it was a flavour thing. I mean, even then, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like, how did they figure out that putting a worm in would make it more flavoursome? Oh my god, that's a lot of red. Oh, why is the door barred? Swear to God, Outer Worlds. Today is not the day. I mean, what's the point of knocking them out if I'm just going to kill them all? Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Ah! Okay. be like, there must be a secret way in. This is the Outer Worlds. There must be a secret way in. There must be like a secret door or something. I'm gonna have to kill them all, aren't I? I just feel like I'm gonna have to kill them all. Do we have a map? Oh, I'm gonna have to go all the way around there. I feel like I'm gonna have to kill people. I feel like there's no getting around it. I mean, I have to kill those two at the very least. Like, there's no way I could get past them. Or could I? Drop a quick save. I mean, I know this feels wrong, sneaking as Titwillow, and they saw me. Okay, they saw me. They're dying. Sorry, sorry. I was really trying not to kill you.
Time for a drink?
Is it just them two? Is it just that? I think it was just them two. Okay, that's all right. Also, they wear creepy gas masks, which is delightful. That's totally not reminiscent of the gas mask zombies from Doctor Who still give me nightmares. Shit. Oh shit. Okay. 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 We need to sneak around here. Drop another quick save. There's a terminal. Lab notes. You know what? We'll come back and read these later. I was just seeing like if it had. Never want another Spectrum vodka ever. Why? What can you see that I can't? Is it lots of worm? Oh! Oh, that's a gymongous worm. Oh, is that what they're putting in the friggin'... Oh, God almighty. I think I can make a run for it. Oh, shit. Oh, they've got the back to it. Okay. Go. Okay, drop another quick save. Look at me being sneaky Titwillow. Sneaky Titwillow, what the hell's going on? Ooh. Ah. Nobody can see anything then. Okay, so use terminal. Dispense sedative gas. Is this going to sedate me? I feel like this might sedate me. Also, they've all got gas masks on. So exactly how is this going to... Do you know what? Let's not question it. Okay, ceiling door. Sedative gas dispensing. Okay. Have I knocked them all out? I mean, there's alarms going off. I assume that means I did a good thing, possibly. Right. Memo. New employee orientation. Okay. Welcome, insert name. We're happy to have you as a new mechanic / custodian at insert location. It is your responsibility to ensure your location of employment is tidy and works like a charm. Your duties include, but are not limited to, cleaning of all surfaces, regular maintenance of all machinery, restocking employee break areas, maintenance of all electronic systems, keeping inventory of the location's operational item reserves, voluntary assistance for the lab's research as needed, maintaining thorough documentation for your possible successor. That sounds like an alright job, that. That sounds like quite a fun job. Like, you know, not too much stuff, but varied enough to keep it interesting. I would do that job. That sounds awesome. We know that sounds like a lot, but don't worry, your predecessor has kept thorough documentation for your needs that you can find on this terminal. We hope you're excited to begin this most fulfilling career. And remember, I'm not doing the Rizzo slogan, alright? I'm sorry, Outer Worlds. I'm not doing the Rizzo slogan. I'm not. That's not a thing that's happening. Alright? That's just... No. Just no, I'm not singing the Rizzo slogan. Like, come on. File, how to be a janitor. Training file corrupted. Please guess how to do your job to the best of your ability. Okay. First day. I've gotten 17 requests from the lab workers that I had to respond to, and also managed to find the time to sweep, mop, and buff this whole place. I was hoping that the employee how-to documentation would help with some of these machines that I've never seen before in my life, but guess what? The also left it completely blank. Okay, gas hookup. I got a request from Dr. Blossom to hook up the gas lines to some canisters. They're mixed with a heavy sedative for dispersal in the lower labs. Luckily, I've got enough experience cleaning all the muck that builds up in the vents to get that done in a couple of days. Still, I wonder what they're needing this for. I think they took the last of the Raptidons out of the lab last... Why is it always Raptidons? Why do they always have Raptidons? What were you doing with Raptidons? Honestly. I guess the pheromone flavouring results weren't as promising as they'd hoped. Experiment participation. Jackpot. Since I read that stupid orientation document, I've been hoping they'd ask me to volunteer for something. And here it is. I get to be a taste tester for the newest Spectrum flavour. I'm heading to the lab right after I fix the clog in the showers, so exciting. Is it drinking the vodka that gets them all worm infected? I'm guessing probably. Okay, so there's no red things on my map anymore. I mean, I know that means I can't boop anything. I mean, I can still nick stuff off them. Woolly curds. I don't know what woolly curds are, but I feel like I don't want them. That's fine. That's okay. Sedated people. Oh, it's a tactical shotgun. I'll have a tactical shotgun so that I can break it down to fix my hammers. Dee, dee, dee. Dee, dee, dee. That's a bin. That's a locked bin, and I don't have my lockpicking team with me. Oh man. Why have I got Ellie and Nyoka? I don't know why I've got Ellie and Nyoka. I don't know what the logic behind that was. But you know, they're a sexy squad, so that's good enough for me. Trial K8 has produced moderate results. The 0-calorie sweetener produces 36% of the amount of dopamine compared to popular cigarette brands. It's possible that this is as far as we can go without introducing substances that would categorise this as a tobacco product. We're already towing the line as is. I'm interested in a trial with a larger set of subjects. However, our lab's resources are getting cut thanks to the new lab that's begun across the hall. Maybe we can offer it to our colleagues in the marketing lab. Show them a thing or two regarding proper science. Okay, somebody really had a bee in their bonnet about marketing scientists. Oh, that's a lot of things to read. Okay. To Dr. Blossom, I apologise, but I wouldn't be doing the team justice if I didn't question the budget cuts this lab has seen. We've had to shelve 3 products, and we're losing 2 more researchers. Honestly, whatever's being developed in the lab across the hall better be more addictive than Adrena time. Well, that's a rather disturbing statement, isn't it? Dr. Blossom, I apologise for our team's outburst at the product presentation. I assure you we didn't intentionally mean to scream in terror and assume the fetal position when Spectrum Brown and its slogan were unveiled. It has to be something the marketing lab did. For law's sake, they aren't even real scientists. Oh, okay. Okay. From Dr. Blossom. Stop immediately. I'm sending this message to both teams in the marketing and product labs. I do not know the extent of your squabbles, but they end here. If it weren't for the incredible projections Spectrum Brown shows, we'd all be out of work after that embarrassment at the presentation. I expect more from both departments. Okay. And then from Dr. Blossom, what in blessed corporate law is all the commotion down there? I don't believe the rocket... Oh, this is one. We've already seen this one, haven't we? Yeah. Okay. So they weren't thrilled about Spectrum Brown, whatever it was that they saw. I'm assuming like giant worms is what they saw.
If it weren't for the random explosive canisters everywhere, I'd almost call this cozy.
Oh, it is quite sweet. You know what this looks like? You know when you go into like a furniture shop and they have little rooms set out. That's what this looks like. This looks like furniture. This, like, you know, you'd walk in here and go, oh, this could be the design of our living room. That's kind of cute. Just having a poke around, seeing what I can find. Apparently not much. Broken terminals. Ooh, Raptidons. All factories in video games must have random explosive barrels. I know, right? How many actual explosive barrels do you think there are just lying around in real life? You know, 'cause there's always loads in video games. Like, oh, that's the worms. Well, you're horrific. Like, just what? What? Ew! Ew! Just why? Oh, God. Oh, none of this is good happy times. None of this is good happy times at all. Oh, Christ on a flippin' cracker. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this in any capacity. Right, okay, so. I'm a bit lost. We've been here. Team, don't drink the coffee. Ooh, I told Blossom we weren't crazy. Every single one of us began to have clinical insomnia. And she tells us it's because we drink too much coffee. Well, it is because of the coffee, or more so what's in the coffee. I had the janitor swap out the coffee grinds an hour later than usual this morning, and what do you know, I've been asleep all day. Those jerks in product have been messing with our supply. Don't ask me how, I just know it. They think they're smart because they know how molecules work. Well, they aren't the only ones that can create a chemical dependency. I've got a Pavlovian prank in place for the Spectrum Brown presentation that caused quite the show. Okay, so the two teams didn't get on. Right, Dr. Blossom, we're thrilled to hear the news that Rizzo secured Halcyon Helen as the spokesperson for the new Spectrum product. Our data shows that she has favourable dispositions in many key categories, including the coveted 1834 regularly employed existential crisis demographic. We'd be happy to show her some of our product advertisement ideas. From Dr. Blossom, I'm sending this message to both teams in the marketing and product labs. I do not know the extent of your... Oh, right, we've seen that one before. These are just like, yeah, the same messages going on all the terminals. That's interesting. I'm a bit lost. I don't quite know where I've been or where I'm going or how to get to any of those places. Those are the guys I killed. That's just another door into that lab that I've already been in. With the wormies. Ooh. Oh, you're a dead worker. That's interesting. Oh, that's an incinerator. That's interesting. They've got a morgue. Do you remember on Gorgon when we found the morgue? And they were like, oh, they had a dedicated morgue. That's not a good sign. I feel like the dedicated morgue is not a good sign here either. Ooh. What on earth has gone on here? I just, you know what? Just for once, I would love to walk into a laboratory in the Outer Worlds. And just everything's fine. You just walk in and they're just doing perfectly moral, humane experiments. And nothing's gone wrong. Nothing horrific has escaped. Nobody's died. Everything's just dandy. And they're all just having a lovely time. Wouldn't that be great? This is a very disgusting bathroom. Christ almighty. With, like, no privacy at all. Like, literally no privacy. Like, were you in prison? Like, what the hell? That just... Jesus Christ. I'll just steal all of this stuff. Right, okay. So... I need to go up. I mean, there was a lift. That's the door that I can't get through. Oh, I'm lost. Guys, I'm lost. Where was the lift that I came down? Also, what is cat cam even showing you right now? Hopefully a bit of Scorpio. Oh, there's the lift. There we go. I found it. I found it.
Just two in the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
What?
The hell was that?
Why's the door sealed? Has somebody just killed Dr. Blossom? That was... Oh my god! This is a proper murder mystery story, isn't it? Our bloody... Other people are getting killed off now.
Just when we were gonna get some answers.
Oh my god, I love this so much. This is actually like a proper like Agatha Christie thing, isn't it? Where we heard somebody else kill her. Oh, Dr. Blossom! Oh, I'm so pleased you weren't going to be a future wife, otherwise I might be quite upset at this moment. Okay, what did you have on you? Bit cartridge, light ammo, necklace, Dr. Blossom's office key. Okay. Okay. Terminal. You download confirmation. File, error file detected was successfully... deleted even. Was successfully downloaded to external data cartridge. Oh, optional. Use the... I didn't get to read that. Okay, oh, that's a lot of messages. Okay. To Dr. Blossom. Apologies for the late notice, but Miss Bellamy has requested a tour of our facilities while she's visiting Eridanos as Halcyon Helen. Please prepare for her arrival in the morning. I feel like Helen knew something, you know, or Ruth, or whatever we call her. I feel like she knew something and she was poking her nose in places it wasn't wanted. From Dr. Blossom to Dr. Blossom, subject note to self. Well, Leora, you did it again. At long last, you located a bottle of Spectrum Black hidden in a crevice of musty shelf space in a storage warehouse last night. That much closer to finally getting the Spectrum Gatling to work. And what happened? You got all the way back to the water tower before running into a group of primals already diverting themselves. Diverting? Yeah, themselves with fruits of the fermented variety. One bad blackout later, and here you are covered in primal vomit without the Spectrum Black. Get it together. Okay. And that's the same one that we keep reading over and over again. And then we've got file deleted.
Don't they realize this just makes us more curious about that data file?
Yeah, what was the optional thing? Optional, use the discrepancy amplifier to find additional clues. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about the clue detector. Okay. Ooh, there's a clue, I think.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Yeah.
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
Thank you! What did I call him? Was it Brian? Did I call him Brian? I feel like I called him Brian. Okay, examine the body. You're sure you heard gunshots earlier, that the victim's loss of blood is oddly minimal? Ooh, okay. Okay, Titwillow. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. The cause of death is not by bullet wound as you expected. Rather, the body is riddled all over with small, thin puncture marks no larger than a needle in diameter. Okay. Search the immediate area. Although you distinctly remember hearing gunshots over the intercom. Oh my god, Scorpio. You don't see any bullet casings. Okay.
Anyone else think there should be more bullet holes here?
Well, they're definitely dead. Any idea what happened?
Why are we standing in a fog? I don't know why we're standing in a fog. Also, I can't see any of the options because Scorpio's in the way. Scorpio! Like, could you just move? Like, please. Like, just shift your bumhole. You're making this very difficult. Miss Marple was never distracted by potential future spouses. I know. I know. I should be better, shouldn't I? I should do better. Okay, whoever did this wasn't using a regular weapon. These look like needle wounds. 5 kills in and out before we could catch a glimpse of the culprit. I'd expect more blood. Strange, I heard gunshots over the intercom but don't see any casings. Pretty sure they're dead. Whoever did this was evil, like some kind of villain in a serial adventure. Okay. Yeah, I did hear gunshots.
Yeah, you're right. Either they cleaned them up or got one fancy firearm.
I mean, they didn't have time to clean them up. I'm surprised they had time to kill 5 people, to be honest.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Especially considering, like... Scorpio! Did you just knock cat cam off? You're just like, I don't want to be on camera anymore. Well, do you know what, Scorpio? If you don't want to be on camera, piss off. Go away if you don't want to be on camera. Because as long as you're here, I'm putting you on camera. I'm going to shame you for disrupting my live stream. Yeah, I am. Boop. Dipstick. What was I saying? I feel like I was saying something. Was I saying something? Okay, apparently there's something over here.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Okay.
It's not gonna... Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay. This is... This is Dr. Blossom. Eridanium gigaseous Slug Research Report 1. Subject: a bunch of slugs. Ugh. These things may well be Rizzo's ticket to the top of the board. But at the end of the day, they still look like my brother would if he ever stopped wearing that damn toupee. Initially found these little bastards suckling on the hairy undersides of a teacup canid. Much like my brother, who works for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. The backstabber. Suffice it to say that these things are parasites. The canid didn't seem to mind, but it's almost as stupid as my research staff. Good stuff. Oh, whoops. Got some spectrum on the dissection subject. It's fine. Yeah, I think I see a couple sacs in the worm. Might secrete enzymes or poison or something. We'll figure it out later. Starting to see doubles, so I'm going to switch to working on the Gatling. Almost got the spectrum lock done.
Fucking hell, so she was like an alcoholic scientist who was playing around with potentially poisonous slugs. I am really glad I didn't make her a future wife. Right, hello Welsh friend. Okay, so we're exploring the slug mystery, Welsh friend. The mystery of the slugs. The slugs what are poisoning people.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Oh, we're relying on Welsh friend for commenting, because Fred is going to be in a car driving to a film festival, because that's the kind of guy he is. I like that you listen to my live streams even when you're in the car, though, Fred. That's kind of cool. I'm very tired, Welsh friend. I've not been sleeping very well, so I'm just tired. So I'm a bit, it's a bit of an kind of a live stream. I don't know why I'm not sleeping. I don't know. Sometimes I do this. I get into a bit of a something where I just feel a bit, I don't know, like nothing's quite right for some reason. And I don't know. I don't know, Welsh friend. I can't even string a sentence together. Have I looked at this terminal yet? Spectrum Gatling terminal. All core systems operative weapon requires loaded Spectrum vodka array to be functional. Spectrum vodka's deposited 2 out of 8. Open case. Not all Spectrum flavours are present. Whoa! Hang on a minute. What? The Gatling taunts me from behind its glass cage. The infernal void damned thing refuses to work, and I know the exact cause. It's me. Why am I wired like this? Why? Whenever I try to fiddle with the internals sober, I broke parts off, or connections failed to fire, or pieces stuck out of the casing and shorted out other components. So, of course, the solution was obvious. Get at least a little plastered prior to the work period, every work period. When I'm relaxed, my hands don't shake, and it's much easier to see where things should fit. How to bridge certain connections. The problem, of course, is that I also get autistic. Why should a weapon work on mechanics alone? Why shouldn't you have to, say, slot one of every single fucking kind of Spectrum vodka into the thing before it will fire for the first time? I don't even know if it's tied to the weapon's internals or if it's some kind of lock, but it seems like it should fire and absolutely will not. I have to get one of every kind of Spectrum, including black. I can only hope the storage warehouse has had a recent shipment of the entire Spectrum, or all this work will have been for nothing. I have to be the dumbest genius this side of Halcyon. Oh. You know, it's a shame she got murdered, because I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's the kind of person I would have loved to hate. You know what I mean? There's been another murder, Welsh friend, by the way. Yeah, we heard a gunshot. We went to do a thing for this woman, right? We talked to her, and then we went to do a thing for her, and then when we came back, that door was sealed, and we heard her go, "Wait, who are you?" And then she said something like, "Oh my god, I don't believe it," or something like that, and then we heard a gunshot, and then the door opened, and we came through, and they were all dead. So, you know, we're in, like, proper murder mystery territory now. This is, like, proper exciting. Dee. Too hot a brain working overtime. Both. I think I wonder if it's hormonal actually, because you know when you're due on your period, which I'm currently not, but I'll expound in a moment. Wait, you know when you're due on your period and you get like hot flushes, and you're like hot and cold, and sometimes that keeps you awake. It's kind of that's what I'm a bit like at the minute. But you know what? My last period was 2 weeks late, which is very unusual for me. Now I do have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so my periods used to be like all over the bloody place, and I used to go through phases of like insomnia now and then. But then for the past like 4 or 5 years, I've been regular as clockwork, and I haven't really gone through bouts of insomnia. Not really, not unless there's something else going on, like if I'm fretting about something. But like yes, my last period was exactly 2 weeks late. Like 2 weeks to the day. And I got to the point where I was so regular, because I've got my I've got the app where you record down, when your period starts and stuff like that, and it works out roughly when the next one should be due. Right? And I am always come on either exactly on the day that it says or a few days before, never after. So like it got to like by the time it was a day late, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it ended up being exactly 2 weeks late. And when it did come on, it came on with a fucking vengeance, I can tell you that. And then, I don't know, this week I've just felt oddly like hormonal. Like mood swingy, and then like hot and cold. Hot flushy. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going through a bit of something. Maybe my body's just had a bit of a freak out. Just decided it needs to just... I don't know. I don't know, Welsh friend. I don't like it. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh, it's horrible. It's almost like I'm so irritable and like impatient that I can't be bothered to lie there and wait to go to sleep. That's almost what it's like when I get like this. Oh, and I hate it. It's the worst thing. It'll pass though. It'll pass. It's fine. It's just a something. And I was saying earlier, ooh, I've got Dr. Blossom's key. I was saying earlier that like I'm very, very, very oversensitive to like the slightest change in routine. And of course I've been working overtime on Sundays, haven't I? And I don't know, I think it's just knocked me off a little bit. So I'm working tomorrow, but then I've decided I'm not going to work the week after that. I'm going to give myself a week off from the overtime and see how I feel. Right, where was that door that I could open with Dr. Blossom's key? There it is. Well, she had a safe that she hadn't bothered to lock. She had sciencey stuff. Ooh, who ate my lunch? Oh, that's proper sciencey stuff, that. Super sciencey. Super, super, super sciencey. What was the point of being able to get into here? I can't even get onto her terminal. Is there nothing I can read? Oh, it's got violet vodka though. Oh my god, I'm going to have to start picking up vodka. I specifically avoid picking up alcohol because I never use it. Now I'm going to have to pick up every single spectrum colour of vodka to open up whatever the fuck it is that's in there. I'm assuming it's a science weapon, I think. And I never use the science weapons anyway, but we did spend an entire live stream doing a single side quest to get a... to get a science weapon that I'm never going to use. So, we'll probably try and do this one at some point as well. But anyway, Administrator Ludvico and timeline discrepancy. Oh, there's a timeline discrepancy up there. I'll go and have a peek at a timeline discrepancy. I feel like we need to be upstairs, not downstairs. Upstairs. Timeline discrepancy. Oh, do I have to get in there? No, I don't think I have to get in there.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Ooh.
Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Really? Even while I was like wasting time talking about periods? Right, okay, examine the grate. You gauge that this vent probably isn't supposed to be gaping open, but beyond that it's difficult to tell if someone used it to enter the lab or escape from it. Oh, hang on, that was the wrong thing. There we go. Seems daring either way, and fun if a little scary, like something a character in a serial adventure might do. Examine the fuse box. There's a cut in the wire box. Someone wanted the power cut or something, but you're not quite sure what. Can we follow them? Can I go up the grate? Why can't I go up the grate? I feel like Titwilla could climb up the grate. She's, you know, athletic. Why aren't we following them? If we know the culprit was there, why aren't we following them? We're just like, oh, we know the culprit went this way mere moments ago. We're just going to leave them to it. That's fine. We'll just let them go about their day. That's okay. It's not like we're trying to catch them or anything. Christ. Okay, we'll go and talk to Administrator What's-His-Face and tell him the progress we've made. Whatever the fuck progress we've made. What progress have we made? I mean, we found a second murder victim. That's the progress that we've made. I feel like that's not... We found a second murder victim, and we're no closer to finding out why they're being murdered. Ooh.
Unscheduled pollination cycle is about to commence.
Oh.
Please evacuate the orchards at this time.
Oh.
Releasing the mosquitoes
Oh.
for pollination.
Oh.
Now in progress.
Oh, really?
I don't know what a mosquito is. I don't particularly want to know what a mosquito is. I'm about to go find out, aren't
I mean, in the real world, we'd just go and hide inside again until, you know, all of it was over. But this isn't the real world. This is video game world, and there's going to be... there's going to be swarms of things. Why is it pointing me over there? Let's have a look at my journal. Optional. Deal with the mosquito swarms. Someone has unleashed wasps all throughout the orchards. Find a way to stop the pollinization cycle before you're stung to death. Okay, I'll go and do that. No, wait, Titwilla's not going to get stung to death. I mean, come on. Oh, Scorpio. Scorpio, you're sabotaging me. What are you doing? Scorpio. Scorpio, I can't see the screen. Scorpio. Scorpio, I can't see the screen. Scorpio. Scorpio, I'm battling monsters. I need to be able to see the screen while I'm battling them. Scorps. Scorpio. Scorpicat. Scorpidope. Warpy Scorp. Scorpidopy Warp. Scorpicat. Dipstick. Numpty face. Arsehole. Look at me. Scorpy. 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 Oh, I had a flea genocide session, Welsh friend. Fred didn't like me talking about it because he doesn't like me talking about fleas. But I'm going to tell you because you weren't here. So now he's going to have to listen to it all over again. Yeah, I had a flea genocide session. I gave the cats flea tablets, which killed all the fleas that were on them, which was quite exciting. They were literally like, I'm not joking, like there were fleas dropping off Star. I was actually watching them just drop off her, and she came and sat on the bed next to me because I just had like a day where I just completely blitzed the flat, so I washed everything. I washed all like the cat bedding and all like the sheets off my bed and stuff like that. So I'd stripped the bed, and then I did I eventually did the bed with flea spray, but like I gave them their flea tablets first before I did the flea spray, because I thought we'll get all the fleas off of them. And Star came and sat next to me on the bed for like 10 minutes, and then she got up and walked off, and I'm not joking, there was like 5 fleas on the mattress where she'd been sitting, and they were just like, I mean, they were in the process of dying. I felt a bit bad actually, because it took them ages to die. It took them like half an hour. They were just like wandering about. But you could tell they were dying because they were just like sort of, you know, flailing around. It was quite sad. But anyway, yeah, so I got rid of the fleas that were on the cats with the flea tablets. And then, like I say, I washed everything, and then I did the whole flat with flea spray. And that has definitely helped the situation. But I did find a flea on Star yesterday, or the day before. That's the only one I've seen. I've been checking them every day, and I've only seen one. I know one is enough, so I'm going to have to do the flat again at some point with the flea spray. But, you know. It didn't look very well, though, because usually when you see them, they're like really impossible to catch because they scurry away or they jump. But it was walking about very slowly, and I was like, maybe it's dying. Because the flea spray is supposed to like carry on working for quite a long time after you've sprayed it. You know, it's meant to keep killing them, like if any more eggs hatch. So, you know. Well, this might be a full cam situation. And then, where can I put the camera? Because he's being an arsehole. He's not sitting somewhere where you can conveniently see him. Scorpy. Scorpy dog. Oi, you could at least, because I mean I could put the camera, oh hang on a minute, I don't have enough hands. Oh, I could put the camera back where it normally is. Hang on. Oh, I could maybe put it like there. Then you can only really see his arse. Hang on. See his arse. Also the camera's not going to stay there, is it? Oh, maybe. I don't know if you can see him at all. Literally not a clue. You should be able to see him, maybe. You can see me. Hello. Hey. Dipstick numpty moron face, aren't you? I see. He keeps twitching. I don't know if he's got a few. They're really hard to spot on Scorpio. They're easy to spot on Star. Chalut. I've lost my flea comb as well. I need to either find it or get a new one. What was I talking about? The flea tablets. The flea tablets make them go insane. Like, I don't like giving them the flea tablets because I think it makes them feel not so nice. But like when you first give it to them, like about 10 minutes after they've had them, they go absolutely insane, like just running around like lunatics. And I think it's partly because the fleas start biting them as they're dying. But I genuinely think that it has some kind of like weird hallucinogenic effect or something, because I'm not joking, Star was chasing something that was not there. Like, she was like a cat possessed. She was just like absolutely, she just went insane. Like, honestly, she was like growling at like nothing, like and like pouncing, and like I was like, Star, there's nothing there. I was like, are you hallucinating? And then once that wears off, they just kind of go and collapse in a heap. And they were just like, they just kind of collapsed, and they were just lying there like that, just looking at me. And I was like, bloody hell. So I don't like giving them the flea tablets if I can possibly avoid it. But it's the only thing I can do. Like, they're too fluffy for flea drops to really work properly. I would never dream of trying to give you a bath. Like, Christ, can you imagine? One of us would not get out of that alive, Scorpio. But anyway, that was my exciting Sunday last week. So I am going to have to do it again at some point, because I think there's still fleas around, but it's definitely not as bad as it was. They're not like scratching loads like they were. Oh, you've got a white hair there, Scorpy. You're going grey in your old age. You're 3 years old now. You're 3 years old. Mm-hmm. You're an old man. That means in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in 4 years, I'll be buying you the senior cat food. Maybe. I don't know how the senior cat food is different to the normal cat food. Is it just like smaller chunks or something so they can chew it easier? Because then, surely, so long as your teeth are alright. I feel like 7+ is a bit young to be calling them senior cats, I always think. There's like 7+ cat food, which is the senior cat food, and then there's 11+ cat food, which is like, wow, your cat's ancient. I feel like that's a bit unfair. What's that? That's not a flea. Is that a flea egg? I don't think it's a flea egg. I don't think so. Can't always tell, because you see, Scorpio gets dandruff, which is very cute, but it sometimes makes it hard to distinguish from flea eggs. I don't think that was a flea egg. It's quite funny because there were flea eggs. Because this desk is black. When there's flea eggs, because the flea eggs are white, they show up really easily. And of course the cats spend ages sitting on the windowsill. And the eggs drop off onto here, right? And all along the back there was absolutely covered in flea eggs, right? And I'd been cleaning them off. Then I thought, no, I'm not going to clean them off. I'm just going to do them with the flea spray, right? So I did them with the flea spray. And the next morning I came through and about half of them must have hatched. And there was just like dead fleas across the desk. I was like, oh well, At least I know the spray works. So, we're doing this for a while, are we? We've had a lot of cat cam this episode. It's one of those live streams, Scorpio. Haven't had enough sleep. That's what it is. It's horrible, isn't it? I think there's no feeling worse in the world than being tired. Well, there probably is, but you know, it's my personal hate. My personal hate. Hate it, Scorpy. Hate it. You just have to wait for it to pass, don't you? You just have to wait to be able to sleep again. Okay. What are you looking at? Star's asleep over there. Take a week or two for everything to run its course, but you've done everything you can. Yeah, they're definitely not as bad as they were. And I'm not getting bitten anymore. So, you know. That's alright. You alright, Scorpy? Oh, alright, computer, calm down. It's not that warm. Did you survive the storm, Welsh friend? We survived the storm. It wasn't very stormy, actually. I mean, there was gale force winds, and then in the morning it was raining. But then the rain cleared up, and it was actually bright and sunny. So, like, technically there was a storm going on, and there was, like, weather warnings for the wind, but it didn't look like a storm because it was really bright and sunny, but it was very, very windy, wasn't it, Star? No, you're not Star, you're Scorpio. I called him Star. You're so cute. Yeah. My cute boy. Yes, you are. Strongish winds and lots of rain, but nothing serious. Basically the same here. It was very windy, but that was it. I can't remember what I was doing. I feel like I was doing something. What day was it that the storm hit? Was it a Monday? I know I was doing something when I got home from work. Because I thought I'll do that while the storm's raging. I can't remember what I did. Because I don't like wind. Because I'm always worried that, you know, it's going to knock the chimney off or something. So I'd do something to distract myself. But it wasn't actually that bad, you know. It wasn't as bad as forecast. Well, Scorpio's going to sleep, so this might be us for a while, Welsh friend. I've been going nearly 2 hours. I'm thinking I'm going to stop at like the 3-hour mark since I need to be in work tomorrow. Because I'm an idiot. I've decided I'm going to tell them I'm not working next Sunday. I said I would work overtime on every Sunday from now until October, and now I'm like 4 Sundays in, and I'm like, maybe not every Sunday. I mean, it was payday yesterday, and I had like £200 more than normal, so that was kind of nice. But I don't know if it's really worth it. Where's Star? What happens if they both want up? If they both want up, what happens is Star will jump up and Scorpio will submit and leave. Won't you? Because Star is a little attention-seeking nutter. And Scorpio always just backs down and lets her have her way. And this is part of the reason why Scorpio is my favourite. Because Star just squeaks all the time. All the time. And constantly demands attention. And Scorpio is so good and quiet and just sits in the background. And then if he's getting attention, she can't deal with it. She has to come in and be centre of attention. She's asleep over there at the minute. But like, if I'm playing with him, she has to just, even if she's asleep, she has to wake up and come and just get in the way and just like put herself between me and him so that then I have to be playing with her. And he, rather than standing up for himself, will just quietly take himself off to a corner and just sit and watch. And I'm like, Scorpio, I was playing with you. You let her get away with too much. You do. Mm-hmm. Isn't it worth it to pay your car insurance? Yes. Yes. Yes, I know. Ugh. I'm just in a mood at the minute, that's all. I'm just... I hate when I get like this, when I'm just like, ugh. It's like, it's not like there's anything particularly wrong, I'm just like, ugh. It's okay. I'll be fine. Be back to my old self in no time. Probably. I usually am. Sorry, Scorpio. I'm laughing at you. Oh, Scorpio. You're too much, aren't you? You're too much cuteness. Well... What are we doing, Scorps? Do you know what really annoys me? Is that, like, at the beginning of the week, I was on fucking cloud 9. I was proper, like, I was fine. And then I had one night where I couldn't sleep. And it kicked me into a fucking... crying out loud. But probably what will happen is, at some point in the next week, I will have a night where I sleep perfectly. And then I'll be back to just being fine again. That's what Okay. What's that? I not let go of it because you'll eat it. He has a habit of eating hair bubbles. And every time he does, I always freak out because I've read horror stories about cats who eat things like hair bubbles and they get all knotted up in their intestines. And they have to have like £5,000 worth of surgery. And I don't have £5,000, Scorpio. That would be a lot of overtime I would have to work. Yeah. I mean, I do have pet insurance, but you know, it only covers so much, doesn't it? Could be that you're working too many days. I think that is part of it, you know. It's not like the amount of work. It's the getting up 6 days in a row. I think that's what it is. Because also, like, I never sleep as well when I know I've got work the next morning. I mean, I always sleep, but I don't sleep as well. Which is why I like... Because my shifts are like I work Monday, Tuesday, have Wednesday off, then work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and have Sunday off. And I like having that, so you've got a little break. You don't have to work continuously. Because, I mean, I'm only doing a 4-hour shift on the Sunday. Like, the shift itself isn't that bad, but it's just having to be up. I think it's more the mental impact. Do you know what I mean? Of just knowing I've got to be up 6 days in a row. I'm not cut out for it, man. I'm not. Have a good laugh if I came on tomorrow. The thing is, it's only been 2 weeks since I was on before. So, I don't know. I do feel like my hormones are doing weird stuff at the minute for some reason as well. Could be the time of year as well. I always get a bit odd when we're at like the changing of the seasons. And it feels very much like we're headed into autumn right now. I know it's still August, but like the weather isn't being very Augusty. It's been autumny. And the nights are notably drawing in. And I mean, I like it when the nights draw in. But I do always find that when you get to like the changing of the seasons, whether it be the nights drawing in or the nights getting later, I go a bit weird. Just, you know, around the whatchamacallit, is that the equinox? When the seasons change. Around that time I find I go a bit weird. I don't know whether your body has to readjust to like light levels or things. I don't know. Viral Effects here. Hello, Viral Effects. We've been hijacked by a cat and you can't even see him that well. That's him, the big ball of floof. So yes, I think I'm gonna tell them that I'm not working next Sunday. I'll work tomorrow. I'm gonna tell them that I'm not working next Sunday. And then I might do like two on, 1 off kind of a thing until October. And then in October I've got 9 days off. And then after October I'll not bother because by that point we're into the Christmas run up and I'm just like, nah. I mean, it's actually only 7 Sundays, you know, until after tomorrow. It's only 7 Sundays until October, but still. I just feel out of kilter. That's what I feel like. Do you ever get like that, where you're like, this? It's not like there's anything wrong. I just feel out of kilter. I just feel like something, like the stars aren't aligned properly or something like that. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I was saying earlier in the stream as well, because it's the kids' school holidays at the minute. Everything's always a bit different during the school holidays. Because you've got like people in work who aren't normally in work. Like all the university students who work seasonally, and people not in work who normally are in work because loads of people take holiday. Everything just feels a bit different. I don't know. And I don't like summer. I'm just waiting for autumn to get here. And I don't know. I think it's just going through a something at the minute, that's all. This too shall pass, Scorpio. It always does. Used to do a Saturday job in a big store and loved Christmas. Really? Why? Why? I remember last year we were all fucking demented. And there was because last year was really awful, and I don't know why. And you know what? It wasn't even so much that work was that bad. It was just like all of us seemed to get into a collective kind of like, I don't know. I mean, my circle of friends particularly, it was like we all went through a collective crisis. I don't know what was going on. We were all having personal crises left, right, and centre. We were going to Starbucks and sitting there and literally just like crying. And just I mean, like, we can't do it anymore. I can't do another Christmas. And it feels weird looking back. I'm sort of like, what happened to it? It's like we all just went temporarily insane last year. God knows what was going on there. But anyway, I remember we were in an aisle and there was a customer and she was in her work uniform and she worked I can't remember if it was like Aldi or Lidl or somewhere like that. Anyway, she worked in a shop because she was in her work uniform, right? And she was saying something. I can't remember what she was saying. And my friend went, oh, well, you know, this time of year it's horrible working in retail, isn't it? And right, she turned around and she went, oh, I quite like it. I like the rush. And I'm not joking, there was maybe about 3 of us in this aisle with her and we all just looked at her like that. And she left the aisle and my friend just went, I've never wanted to slap someone so much in my life. This has become an accidental talkie live stream, hasn't it, Scorpio? The game is open, Viral Effects. There is a game open. It's just Scorpio's in the way. Oh, okay, calm down. A Christmas chocolate's already in the shop, you know. There's Malteser reindeer in the shop. I know. And boxes of Quality Street and things. The Halloween stuff isn't in yet, but the Christmas stuff is. You're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, yes. I feel like we need to do away with Christmas. I feel like Christmas needs to go out of fashion. It's getting too big and too stressful. I don't even do anything for Christmas and I find it stressful. Oh, why do I find Christmas stressful? I literally do nothing. I don't even buy presents for anybody. Because there's only me mother, and me and her sort of don't really buy presents anymore. Sort of came to an agreement that that's not a thing we would bother doing anymore. I think you should get like a little gift bag with like some chocolates and some gift sets and things in, and I'm quite happy with that. And she's the same for her birthday this year, because her birthday is always quite close to Mother's Day, so I always like buy birthday and Mother's Day stuff together. But when it came to Mother's Day, I didn't actually have that many presents, so I ended up giving her birthday presents for Mother's Day, and then I never bought her any more. And then it came to the day like it was her birthday, and I was going round hers after work, and I had nothing. So I literally just went round the shop after I finished my shift and just like bought loads of stuff that she likes, like, you know, posh biscuits and some of like the posh crackers that she likes and the cider that she likes, and you know the stuff that like you only buy for yourself as a treat, that sort of stuff. And like some posh hand cream, and I think I got her a mug. I got her a gardening magazine. Pringles, because she loves Pringles. Box of chocolates. That was it, right? So I just whizzed around the shop and got that, right? Put it all in like a gift bag and took it round to her. And she looked at it and she went, "You've just whizzed around the shop after work, haven't you?" I was like, "Yes, I have." And she was like, "That's fine." Yeah, I was quite happy with that. I love stuff like that, though. I love presents like that, where it's just like, yeah, just buy me all my favourite food. That's fine. I'm not bothered. I'd rather have a gift bag of just like stuff than like a big present, you know. I always thought like on Christmas Day, the stuff that you got in your stocking was so much more exciting than like the big presents you had to unwrap. Because in my stocking, you would always have stuff like stickers and colouring in pencils and little racing cars and things like that. Just little stuff. That was always way more exciting than like the big presents you had to unwrap. I love just a random gift bag of just stuff. Just things. Really like to have a solitary Christmas once. It's quite nice, actually. I mean, when I first moved out of home, so I moved out of home, what, 5 years ago? Coming up to 6? The first couple of Christmases were weird. Because every Christmas since then I've been on my own. Mostly. There certainly hasn't been like a family Christmas. I mean, I was completely on my own last year. I didn't see anybody on Christmas Day. Sometimes there was a year that I popped round my mother's and we just had like a cup of tea. Like I literally just popped round for a cup of tea. It wasn't like a Christmas visit or anything, you know. Because I mean, neither of us even bother putting decorations up or anything now. So I nipped round and we had a cup of tea. And then there's been a few years where she's come round here. I think I made her breakfast one year. And we had breakfast. We had like a Christmas breakfast. But like, she'll be round for a couple of hours and then like go again. It's not like a big deal because she doesn't like Christmas, you see. So, you know, it's never like a big thing. And the first couple of years it was a bit weird. And I found it a bit strange. And I felt like I didn't know what to do. Because I felt like it's Christmas Day and I feel like I should be doing something. But like, there's no one here. It's just me. And I was like, it was kind of strange. But I mean, now I've settled into it. It is quite nice. I quite enjoy just having Christmas to myself. And just doing what I feel like doing. I usually end up recording a YouTube video. That's what I usually end up doing on Christmas Day. I started recording the Planet Zoo series last year, didn't I? Especially since the work run-up is just so awful. By the time Christmas Day gets here, you just want to just lock the door and not speak to anyone. I should have Christmas Eve off this year, though. Because Christmas Eve's on a Wednesday this year and I'm not contracted on a Wednesday, so they can't make me work it. So, I've worked like the last 3 Christmas Eves. Like, I'm due a Christmas Eve off. Fucking hell. Did you see that? I just snorted a snot bubble. Live on the internet. I need to start having hankies in here. Jesus. Because you know my nose runs when I'm talking too much. Oh, dear. If someone filled a gift bag with stuff they knew I liked, I'd be thrilled. Yeah, right? That's the best present, right? And like gift sets. I love a gift set. When people talk about gift sets as if it's just like, oh, you got a gift set. Oh, how, yeah. You only buy gift sets for people you don't like, that kind of thing. I love a gift set. If it's stuff that I'll actually use. I mean, if it's like useless stuff that I'll never use, then no. But if it's like, you know, nice body sprays or something. And socks. I love socks. I love socks. I used to always get knickers off my mother for Christmas. I would always get knickers, right? Always. Right from childhood right through into teenage years, into early adulthood. And then, like, after I left home, she stopped buying me knickers at Christmas. And I remember at the tender age of, like, 27, having to go and buy knickers for myself for the first time. And thinking, this is weird. Like, to the age of 27, I only wore knickers that my mother had bought for me. It's one of those moments where you sort of went, Oh, dear. Yeah, socks. Earrings. Earrings are always a winner with me. I love earrings. Especially if they're like a bit weird and quirky. If they're sort of like the normal kind of earrings that a normal person would wear, then not so much. But like weird quirky earrings, oh yeah, love that. Take a drink of my melon flavoured water. My controversial melon flavoured water. Started an argument in the Discord. Well, it was Squash that started an argument in the Discord. But yeah. Welsh friend's ordering her curry. I want to know what she's having. I want a list of what you're ordering, Welsh friend. Welsh friend's back from ordering her curry. What did you order, Welsh friend? I need to know. I need to know what you ordered. I watched a video. You know those videos where they do like Americans react to British stuff, right? And 99% of those channels are just shit and boring and they all do the same thing. There's one channel that I like that's a bit unique and a bit different. right? And they were doing this, and they were reacting to Chinese takeaway, right? And the differences between American Chinese takeaway and British Chinese takeaway, right? Do you know they don't get prawn crackers? They didn't even seem to know what prawn crackers were. And I was like, it's not a Chinese if you don't get prawn crackers. Usually you don't even have to order the prawn crackers. They just give you prawn crackers. Like, if you order a Chinese, you always get a bag of prawn crackers and a bag of fortune cookies. That's always what you get. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, don't know what prawn crackers are. They were also quite surprised about the inclusion of curry sauce, but you know, curry sauce has to be involved in every type of takeaway. You order a pizza, you can still get curry sauce. You know, that's just a very British thing. Oh, Fred's here. What a prawn... Oh my god, Fred. What are prawn crackers? They're like... What are prawn crackers, Welsh friend? They're like sort of prawn flavoured crisps, I suppose. That doesn't make them sound very appetizing. They're really nice, and that's from somebody who doesn't like prawns. Chinese curry sauce is a thing. Yeah, I know, but I don't think the Americans are as mad on curry as what we are. That seems to be a thing that I've gleaned from the channel that I like to watch. But they do say that we seem to be mad about curry sauce, and we're just like, yeah, we do like curry, don't we? There's nothing quite like chip shop curry sauce, though. That's the best curry sauce. Curry sauce from a Chinese is nice too. And the you know the chicken balls? Oh my god, the battered chicken balls. They didn't seem to know what they were either. But like that, like, if I order a Chinese, I mean, I have not ordered a takeaway in, I could not tell you how long, 3 or 4 years probably, because I'm frugal. I'm tight with money. I need to have money to buy lots of video games that I'll never have the time to play. So so I don't order takeaways. But like, the battered chicken balls, curry sauce, chips, prawn crackers, that's it, that's my Chinese. And fried rice. I don't like the sweet and sour sauce that you get from a Chinese takeaway, you know. I don't like it. It's like jelly. I'm not a fan. I make my own sweet and sour sauce, don't I, Scorpio? Yes. Do 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 do. Also, I think the prawn crackers that you buy in the shop are better than the prawn crackers you get from a Chinese takeaway. I think. But you always get them whether you want them or not. Scorpio's asleep. This is it for the rest of the live stream, you know. We've been going for 2 hours and 8 minutes. I said we'd maybe go for 3 hours. Maybe 3.5. I think the chicken balls is probably a UK thing that the Chinese have done for us, like the tikka masala in Indian food. Yeah, probably. Do you know what always makes me laugh? You know how whenever you, like, takeaways, like Indian takeaways or Chinese takeaways, they always have what they call an English menu, right? For people who don't want whatever type of food it is that... Like, I mean, if you don't want Indian food, I don't know why you'd be ordering an Indian. But anyway, they always have an English menu, right? And it's always stuff like macaroni cheese. And omelettes. What is it with fucking takeaways selling omelettes as English food? Like, I mean, firstly, why would you get an omelette from a takeaway? That's just weird. It just always makes me laugh when they have their English menu and it's like nothing English on it. Oh. Actually, there was an Indian restaurant when I lived up in Scotland. There was an Indian restaurant in the village that I lived in, and they had an English menu, and it was macaroni cheese and lasagna and stuff like that. And you just think, like, That's not an English menu. That's an Italian menu. Welsh friends not fond of prawn crackers. Do you know what? They're one of those things that I like. I like them when I first eat them. And then I'll have a few and I'm like, not enough. You know. I occasionally get a hankering for prawn crackers. But then, like, I'll have a few and I'm like, eh. But I don't like prawns. Or seafood generally, so you know. So, what do we fancy talking about then? This has just turned into a talkie live stream. It's been a long time since we had a talkie live stream. I'm quite enjoying this. It's quite fun. I mean, I was nearly going to just do it as a talkie live stream because I was, you know, tired. But, you know, I thought, no, we'll do it like a proper... Because, I've been looking forward to doing Murder on Eridanos again. But now Scorpio's here and it's just a talkie live stream and that's fine. I'm happy with that, Scorpio. In fact, if Scorpio gets up and leaves, I'll probably keep it as a talkie live stream. It's alright. Get talking. It's not like loads of people have turned up, so, you know, it's fine. No pressure. Do you know what I encountered today in the shop, Welsh friend? This was really exciting. I was really excited, right? Do you know what I came across in the wild? A Welsh customer. She came up and asked me how much the, No, she didn't ask me that. She had, she'd got a coffee maker, that was it. But the box was open. And she wanted to know if we had any more in the back without an open box. I don't really know why it mattered that the box was open, because, I mean, it clearly hadn't been touched. It was still inside its plastic wrap. But she didn't want a box that had been torn open for whatever reason. And we didn't have any more in the back, because I scanned it to check if we had any more in the back, and we didn't have any more in the back. And I said, if you take it to the customer service desk, they might reduce it for you since it's been ripped. So she took it to the customer service desk. I don't know if they did reduce it for her. I did not get to see the outcome of the storyline, but she was Welsh. I got really excited. You never hear a Welsh accent in Northumberland. The Welsh do not travel up here very often. You hear a lot of Scottish accents, because Scotland is literally like an hour in that direction. So you hear a lot of Scottish accents. You hear a lot of like Yorkshire accents, because Yorkshire's like an hour in that direction. You hear a surprising amount of London accents. A lot of Londoners come up here. A lot of Londoners move up here. I think presumably just because the cost of living is so much cheaper up here. A lot of Southerners come up here. But like you never, ever, ever hear a Welsh accent. Ever. Ever. I got so excited. I was like, I remember thinking, I'm going to tell Welsh friend about this. I had a Welsh customer. That was my excitement today. You alright, Scorpy? Yeah. I'm just watching myself. There's a latency on the on the thing, and I'm just watching myself, trying to work out which bit I'm saying. I think I'm quite behind actually. I think that's quite a latency we've got going on there. I'm talking about the English food on English menus, which are not English. Did you miss anything, Welsh friend? Welsh friend, did you miss my entire story about the Welsh customer? I had an entire story about a Welsh customer that I had been looking forward to telling you. Don't tell me you missed that. Because that was just for you. Don't tell me you missed that, Welsh friend. Don't tell me you missed the Welsh customer story. I mean, the gist of the story is there was a customer and she was Welsh, and that was kind of it, and I got excited because I never encounter Welsh customers. That's the story. She asked me about a coffee maker, and she was Welsh, and I got excited, and I thought I'm going to have to tell Welsh friend that I met a Welsh person. Oh, dear. You missed it, do it again. Okay, right, so there was a customer, and she came up to me, and she had a coffee maker, right? But it was the only one on the shelf, and the box was ripped, and she didn't want a coffee maker with a ripped box, despite the fact that the coffee maker was clearly perfectly fine inside the box, because it was still in its plastic wrapping inside the box, but she didn't want a ripped box, for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe it was going to be a birthday present, I don't know, right? So she asked me if we had any more in the back, so I scanned it to see if there was any more in the back, and there wasn't any more in the back, so I said, if you take it to the customer service desk, they might reduce it for you, and she said, yes, I'll do that, and the gist of the story is, she was Welsh. That was it. That was it. And I thought, wow, I never ever meet anybody Welsh, ever. And I thought I'm gonna have to tell Welsh friend that there was a Welsh customer. That's it. That's my story. Now poor Fred's had to listen to it twice. She was very Welsh as well. She was proper like Stacey from Gavin and Stacey kind of Welsh. A lot of Welsh accents are very subtle. Hers was not a subtle Welsh accent. Welsh friend, you should say that was you. Have you been in a Northumberland shop buying a coffee maker, Welsh friend? Welsh Valleys, I think so, because we used to go to the Welsh Valleys on holiday when I was a kid, and that was the kind of accent. Then you have other Welsh accents that are really subtle, don't you? Like Ruth Jones's accent is quite subtle. I don't think because like Solus in Dragon Age, he has a Welsh accent, but it's like really subtle. But then you have Meryl, who has a Welsh accent, which is less subtle. That's like more obviously Welsh. If you were in Northumberland, you wouldn't be buying a coffee maker. No. Probably not. I'm too hot, man. I swear to God, I'm having hot flushes. That's what's happening. That's why I'm saying I'm weirdly hormonal, but I don't understand why. Early onset menopause. No. Fucking not me. Remember what my mother was like when she went through the menopause? Jesus Christ. Those were not happy times. She used to get brain fog so bad that there was one day she walked out of our local co-op. Our local co-op in the village that we lived in. She walked out of the local co-op and she said she had literally no idea where she was, how to get home, or just anything. She just not, she said absolutely, I just had absolutely no clue where I was going, where home was, how to get home, She said just nothing. That's how bad the brain fog that she used to get was. And she said, she said there was one point she was driving, and she was driving towards traffic lights, and she couldn't remember whether green meant stop or go. I was like, wow. When they talk about menopausal brain fog, they really do mean, like, you know, they don't just mean you get a bit forgetful. I'm a bit terrified of menopause, you know. But I'm only 30, so let's not think about it. Not just going through it, but like coming out the other end. I don't know, I just feel like I quite like having my little hormonal cycle, even though it can cause problems. I don't know. Sort of keeps you in a routine. Except when it goes a bit weird and wibbly, like it seems to be doing at the minute for whatever fucking reason. But it's fine. It's fine. It'll pass. Sorry, Scorpy. We're at quite a jaunty angle there, aren't we? It's because I've had to put the laptop onto me thing because Scorpio is in the space where the laptop would normally be. Causing chaos, aren't you, Scorps? Causing chaos. My mother used to have hot flushes like that. Yeah. She'd be sitting talking to you. Because, I mean, we lived up in the Scottish Highlands at the time. And it was like the middle of winter, so it was cold. And she'd be sitting talking to you, right? And then all of a sudden, I remember this time, it was like the middle of the, well, not the middle of the night, but it was, you know, it was winter and it was dark outside. It was sort of nighty time. And she was sitting talking to us, and all of a sudden, she literally just got up and left and just, without a word, just went. And just went outside and just stood outside in the cold. I mean, I don't like the kind of hot flush type things that I get now when I'm hormonal. And it's not like anything like that. It's just, it's a really weird kind of heat, isn't it? It's that kind of like the heat is radiating from within you. You can just feel your skin kind of tingling. I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it. Dee dee dee. You're alright, sweetie. Uh-huh. Of course you are. You're a perfectly okay putty, aren't you? How could you not be? How could you not be? I might tell her I can't work the next 2 Sundays, you know. I'm trying to work out how many Sundays I would need to work to get enough for my car insurance. How much? I mean, I don't know how much my car insurance is going to be, but if it's roughly the same as last year, I would need to work like 4 Sundays. No, 6 Sundays. I've already worked 4. I just feel a bit cheeky saying, oh, I'll work every Sunday until October, and then go, actually, no, I've changed my mind. But, you know, I'm not contracted a Sunday, so she can't force us. And she's pretty chill, my manager. She won't. She'll probably be fine with it. Trouble is, they're under quite a lot of stress at the minute. I think just because they're so short-staffed. And there's new systems being brought in, and they're having, like, the company's having a big reshuffle, and I think it's never good when the managers are stressed. menopause was a breeze. How long did it last? With my mother, I remember it being, I don't know, I would say a year maybe. But then you have like premenopause stuff as well. I don't know, I think hormones generally just terrify me. Just the amount that hormones can just kind of like completely change you as a person. You know, if they get out of whack. That's why I'm like really genuinely very glad that I don't ever have to worry about like birth control and things. Because like most birth control involves messing about with hormones, and I just think that must be not fun times. Have the next 2 Sundays off and then do every other Sunday. Say you've tried and it's having a bad effect on you. Yeah, that's right. Oh my god, we've gone up to 5 viewers. Oh my god. Hopefully they're all regulars who know what Magpie live streams are like and aren't tuning in expecting the outer worlds and are quite happy to just see a cat while I talk about my hormones and and work problems. Sometimes I forget that these live streams are going out live on the internet, you know, and that we're not just a group of friends sitting around happily talking about our personal lives. That's alright. That's alright. We can talk about periods and hormones live on the internet. I'm not bothered. We should talk about these things more often. Yeah. She probably will be fine if I say that, you know. She's pretty canny. She's alright to be manager. She's nice. Like, she took us off, because I used to be on Click and Collect all the time. And what I didn't like about Click and Collect was, I mean, originally I did like Click and Collect, because there used to be like during COVID and things, there used to be 3 or 4 of on Click and Collect, and it was like a little team, and it kept you off the shop floor and away from all the customers. And when I first started working there, I used to really struggle when the shop was busy. I used to get really stressed out. It doesn't bother us now. I'm kind of used to it. But like at the time, yeah, when I first started, it used to really stress us out. So I didn't want to be on the shop floor. So I liked being on Click and Collect. And you used to have a little, you know, it was very busy. So we had a little team because, like I say, it was during the COVID lockdowns and things. But then once the lockdown lifted and it stopped being quite so busy, you started just being on there on your own. And I used to work the late shifts, which was like after everybody else in the department had gone home. And there'd only be like a duty manager in. And if the duty manager wasn't also the manager of our department, they were useless. And I don't know, I didn't like, it was a lot of stress. It was a lot of responsibility. It was, you know, if a customer had an issue, they had to come to you. If there was a problem with anything, it was basically, you know, there was nobody else to go to. And then there was one night I had a very aggressive customer who, his shopping hadn't been, it was actually his wife came in, right, to get our shopping, and I didn't have it. I didn't have her shopping. There was nobody of that name, right? It wasn't on the system anywhere, right? So I was ringing upstairs to get it sorted, right? And she had this fucking arsehole husband. It was just, I mean, you know the type. He's just, oh. And I mean, he practically kicked the door in. I'm not joking, right? And got right up in my face. And security had to come and throw him out. And it turned out that they didn't have enough money in their bank to cover it, and the payment hadn't come out, and that's why it hadn't been paid. And the duty manager who was on that evening was a right fucking bitch. I mean, she's not there anymore, but we all hated her. And she said, she had a go at me because she said I must have done something to provoke him. Right? Anyway, and after that incident, I decided I didn't want to be on Click and Collect anymore. Because it was just horrible, like, when you're down there on your own, and, like, there's nobody else to, like, turn to. And he came back as well, a few weeks later. And there was some other issue with his shopping, and he got aggressive again. Although I stood my ground a bit more that time, because the first time I just, like, pretty much freaked out. But the second time I stood my ground a bit more. I shouted back. I wasn't taking his shit. But, anyway. But yes, basically I decided I didn't want to be on Click and Collect anymore. And it took a few weeks to get off Click and Collect. And then, because I'd been on Click and Collect so much, for a while it was like if ever they didn't have anybody or they needed cover, they would put me down there. And you would not believe how stressed I get when I'm down there. Like, even just when they say, can you go down to Click and Collect, my anxiety just goes like that. right? And eventually I got to the point where I put my foot down and I was like, I'm not doing it, right? Just train other people. It's not complicated being down there. Just train other people and set other people down there. I'm not doing it because it stresses us out too much, right? And anyway, eventually that message sunk in. This is before our current manager was the manager, right? Anyway, so fast forward to now, maybe a couple of months, 2-3 months ago, she had literally no one else to cover this click and collect shift. Right, it was a morning shift and she only wanted me down there for like 3 or 4 hours. And I said I would do it, but it was on a Saturday morning, which is like the busiest morning. And when it actually came to it, I kind of freaked out and I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it. There's too many customers. It's too stressful. I can't deal with it. Right. And ever since then, she will not let any of them put me on click and collect. She was like, because I'm the kind of person like I just feel stupid, you know, saying I can't do it because I get really anxious, right? That feels like a stupid thing to say. Like I should just kind of be able to just get on with it and not, you know. But then I was like it's click and collect. It's not like life or death, right? It doesn't matter particularly. Like just put somebody else down there. It's not like I absolutely have to be down there. So I was just like, no, I can't do it. I said, I can't do it. I get too anxious when I'm down there. I can't do it. And since then, like, she literally will not let them put me on click and collect. Like, there's been a couple of times where it's sort of been like, oh, maybe Sarah could go on click and collect. She's like, no, Sarah doesn't go on click and collect. So, you know, she's a cool manager. She's cool. Don't understand how people think shouting is going to get their problem solved. No. No. I can't deal with shouting. I feel like I'm really oversensitive to shouting as well. Probably childhood trauma, I imagine. Oh dear. I mean, luckily it's very rare. It's very rare. I mean, like 99% of customers are perfectly fine. A lot of them are even quite lovely. I mean, a lot of them are, like, annoying. They'll complain about things, you know. Like, when the prices go up, and they'll say things like, you really need to get this sorted. I need to get this sorted, do I? I need to sort out the prices. Okay, I'll go out and personally fix the financial crisis that is putting the prices up. Alright, I'll do that for you, love. So they say stupid things like that sometimes. But even that's quite rare. So yeah, it's not very common, but when it does happen, it's like, But when you're on the shop floor, if you have an aggressive customer, there's other colleagues around you, there's managers around you, you know, like there's other people there that you can, you know, go to and grab and stuff like that. But when you're down on click and collect on your own, it's just like I had a friend who used to also do the late shifts down there after I came off it. And she had an Uber driver, because we do Uber. You know, you can order, like, you're shopping on Uber and an Uber driver will come and deliver it. She had an Uber driver, got really aggressive with her when she was on the late shift. And she was messaging me while it was happening. And I was like, just lock the door. Just lock the door and ring security. Nothing else you can do. And afterwards I was like, you just need to get off click and collect. Like, you would not believe how much happier you'll be. Oh. Because I think, you know how you can get used to being stressed to the point where you don't realise how stressed you are? I was so stressed when I was on click and collect. I didn't even realise how stressed I was until I came off click and collect. And then I was coming into work and just being like, oh wow, this is what not being stressed feels like. You deal with shouters a lot, do you, Welsh friend? Oh dear. You're not in like a call centre or something, are you? I feel like I couldn't deal with that. Yeah, I definitely couldn't deal with that. Could not deal with that. Couldn't work in an office either. I feel... Do you know what? Retail work suits me down to the ground. It really does. Depending on what department you're on. I couldn't be on checkouts. I couldn't do that. That would drive me mad. Too much customer interaction. And I don't like being sat down. I like being on my feet. That's one of the things I like. I like being on my feet. I like the fact I get all my steps in without really having to try. And I mean, because I'm a picker, so I'm picking the orders for like online delivery. And it's a surprisingly physical job. Like, you're pushing around these heavy trolleys, you're lifting stuff in and out, like crates of beer and things like that. I mean, it's a very physical job. And I mean, you do maintain a basic level of fitness just by going into work every day. And I like that. I do somewhere between 17 and 20,000 steps a day just in work. I like that. I like the fact that I like the level of social interaction. Because like I say, you've always got people around you. Because all my previous jobs I'd worked alone, which is not always the most mentally healthy thing. But I'm not always great at working in a team either. It depends who I'm with. I'm not good at just being able to work with anyone, you know what I mean? But when you're picking, it's a nice kind of thing because you've got people around you and, you know, you're sort of chatting with people as you're doing it, but you're working, like, you've got your work. You're not working with someone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I quite like that. I like the fact that you're in every aisle, like, you're up and down the shop. You're not stuck in one aisle. I know I've done shifts, like, I did a shift on bakery once, where I was literally just stocking the bakery shelves. And I was like, this is shit, I'm stuck in 2 aisles. Like, I never get to see the rest of the shop. So I like the fact that you're moving around. You mostly get left alone. Like, managers don't really bother you that much when you're a picker. You just kind of get left to your own devices. Yeah, it does suit me. I mean, as much as, like, Christmas is stressful. But then it's not like I've got kids or anything. So, like, really having to work in the run-up to Christmas doesn't affect me particularly. Like, you know, I'm not really bothered. As much as it's a stressful time, because the shifts are stressful. And I definitely think we should get, like, extra pay at Christmas. I really do, because we do more work. But, you know. But yeah, it suits me. And I have these moments where I'm like, I want to do something else with my life. I want to do something more. And then you look at jobs and I'm like, I'm happy where I am though. Like, it just suits me. I miss working outside, I will say that. All my other jobs before I worked in retail were like outdoorsy jobs, and I do miss that. Rather than like being stuck indoors for 8 hours every day. But you know. But overall, I mean, I love retail work. It just suits us. I'll go through these phases where I'm like, I hate this, I don't want to work here anymore. And then that passes and I'm like, oh no, actually I do like working here. It helps when you have a good team as well. I think at the minute we've got a good team. When you have like shitty managers and things like that, it goes to shit. It's not so much fun anymore. But when you've got a good team, it's always the people, isn't it? When you're working with the right people, any job can be enjoyable. Almost any job can be enjoyable. When you're working with the wrong people, yeah. Anyway. We are putting the world to rights here, Scorpio. I mean, I'm meant to be solving a murder mystery in the Outer Worlds, but, you know. You decided today is not the day for that, and that's okay. You already do more with your life. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Like, all my friends are there. Like, all the best friends that I've had in life I've made working there. It's just a nice shop to work in. I mean, that's the shop you're working in, but it's just like, It's very... I mean, I was saying earlier on in the stream, I think before you got here, it's very like... the town that it's in is the kind of town that... It's one of those sort of like people who are born there typically don't leave kind of places, and you've got like 3 generations of the same family working in that shop sometimes, and everybody who works there, like, you know, they went to school together, they grew up in the same street together and things like that. It's just a very nice feel, but in a sort of way that, like, if you're an outsider, you're welcomed in, not in a kind of like if you're an outsider you're shunned. You know, once you start working there, you become part of the family. I kind of like that. I mean, not to say that it's all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, there's plenty of gossip, there's plenty of pettiness, there's plenty of rivalries, there's plenty of arguments that break out and people who don't like each other. But so long as you stay away from all of that, and you just, you know, you find the people who are your people and you just stay with them, you know. And then you can just watch the drama when it unfolds and kind of laugh about it because you're not involved in it. But, you know, there is a fair amount of drama that unfolds. As long as you stay out of it. If you had a high-powered job, you wouldn't have the mental energy to do it you enjoy. Exactly, Welsh friend. Exactly. It pays the bills. And gives me enough extra income to, like, buy video games that I don't have time to play. Go on Etsy and buy tons of earrings. I don't even really need to do these Sundays, you know, to pay the car insurance. I'm just trying to make a little bit extra because I'm trying to build my savings up a little bit. But, you know, I wouldn't like... It's not like I'd be broke if I didn't do the Sundays. Had a fit when the bloke came to fix your boiler, went to school with your daughter, made you feel old. It's weird, isn't it, when you think, because I mean, like, we moved to Scotland when I was 9, and then I moved back when I was 25. So, like, the people I went to school with are in Scotland, and I haven't kept in touch with any of them, because, like, to be honest, all those years in Scotland, I don't like thinking about them. They were, I mean, it's not like they were awful. I mean, the first few years were, like, I really did enjoy being there. I sort of settled in a little bit later on. I mean, the fact that it encompassed most of my school life and I hated school doesn't help. Like, most of my memories of Scotland are not, like, happy ones, really. And I found a video, it was like a dash cam video on YouTube of the village that I used to live in, because one of the guys I work with, he'd been on holiday to the village that I used to live in, right? Which was quite funny, and he was talking about, like, the Chinese restaurant that he went to and the pub that he went to, and I was like, I know all those places. But so I found, like, a dash cam video of somebody just driving through the village, and as I was watching it, I was just like, oh no, I don't want to see that. You know, when something just, like, you just kind of go, no, I don't want to think about that, don't want to think about that. So yeah, I don't have particularly happy memories of Scotland. Not like it was awful, it's just, you know what, I'm not a nostalgic person generally. I think once a period of your life is over, it's over. Like, just leave it. You know, it's like once somebody is out of your life, just leave them. Just forget about it. Move on. You know, I'm very like that. I don't like to look back. But anyway, so I've not kept in touch with anybody that I went to school with. But because when I knew them, like, they were teenagers, that's how I still think of them. And sometimes I just think and go, oh shit, they'll be like 30 years old now, like, same as me. I mean, some of them might be married and have kids, I don't know, I haven't kept up with them at all. And because I'm not on social media or anything, it's not like I can stalk them on Facebook or anything. It's sometimes, because I just still think of them as being teenagers at school. Weird. Welsh friend, no, you have not told that story before. Oh my goodness. I know my friend told me that one of the nurses who does the smear tests at our local doctor's is her husband's ex-girlfriend. And she always gets very nervous when she goes for a smear test in case it's her doing it. I was thinking, ooh, that would be awkward. This is what I mean when I say sometimes I forget that these are live on the internet. Oh my god, I should really not be talking about these things live on the internet. Christ, anybody could be watching. Oh, it's fine. Nobody watches my videos, it's fine. Sometimes I have like a momentary thought where I kind of go, oh shit, what if something happened and like one of my videos went viral and I suddenly became really popular and people kind of started going back and watching my live streams. They would learn some of like my deepest, darkest secrets. All the people I know in real life would hear the things I've said about them. Like, oh shit. It's fine. It's never gonna happen. It's fine. You okay, Scorpy? Yes, you are. You are okay. Whether you like it or not. Oh, I'm sorry I scared your daughter off. Tell her I don't mean it when I say that. It's just part of my act. It's just part of the thing, you know? I just have to, you know, it's an in-joke. I have to freak out when there's suddenly more viewers. That's just, you know, just an act. Like, I'll be honest, sometimes I pretend to be more of a numpty than I actually am, because it's entertaining. Don't tell anyone, Welsh friend. That's just between me and you. You know, just pretend to be a bit more of a numpty than I actually am. Just a little bit. I mean, I am quite a numpty. I mean, some of the shit I've come out with, Christ almighty. It's fine. It's fine. We have anything else to talk about, Welsh friend? I said we were going to stop at the 3-hour mark and it's nearly 3 hours, but I don't really feel like stopping, to be honest. I could go for like 3.5 hours. That's fine. That's fine. We've done almost nothing as far as the actual murder mystery goes. But you know, hopefully next week I'll be more in the mood. She says. Next week I'll not even open the game up. I'll just be like, well, just gonna sit here and philosophize for a bit. We went through a phase of that a few months ago, didn't we? Every live stream was just a talking live stream. You just, you know, that's what happens when you follow this channel. You've just got to deal with my phases. If I have to deal with my phases, you also have to deal with my phases. Do you wonder how I keep my PC cat hair free? I do not. I don't. Next question. No, I mean, I keep these on top so that the cats can't jump up there too much. I mean, they sometimes knock them off and jump up there, but For the most part, they don't. So the cat hair isn't getting in through the top. But I mean, these fans are full of cat hair. I just have to clean them out every like 6 months or so. I can take the thing off. And I mean, obviously they're spinning, but like, I can see the cat hair in there. There's quite a lot, and just general dust. And then this gets quite dusty as well. So, yeah. Put these back on. For fuck's sake. You get me cables stuck in me fans if I'm not careful. You don't want your cables to get stuck in your fans, do you? I'm sure Fred can get a euphemism out of that. I will kill it, yeah. I mean, I do give it a clean out. Oh, every 6 months, don't we? Spooky. Although, to be fair, because there's a filter behind the fans, and it is really good at catching most of it. Like, very little of it actually gets in to the PC itself. Hello. So, yeah. Wondering whether I shouldn't do full games. I know. I mean, I have thought about maybe just doing one-offs now and then. I like to follow a game through to completion, though. And we do normally complete. Scorpio, what are you doing? You can't leave. We're committed to this being a talkie live stream now. You have to stay. Yeah, we do normally complete them, don't we? Unless they're not very live streamable, like Dragon Age Inquisition. Or I lose interest, like Bioshock. Is there any other ones that we've not completed? I mean, I like to have a bit of a, you know, an adventure. And then we create people like Titwillow. You know, I would never have created Titwillow on my own. Titwillow was definitely a group venture. Her many wives. You know, harem of hammers. But maybe like shorter games, I do think. In general, doing shorter games would be better. Are you going? I'm not playing the game, Scorpy. That ship has sailed. Put the camera back up here. Oh shit. Oh shit. What am I going to call this live stream? Because it's been like maybe 20% the Outer Worlds and then 80% talkie live stream. So I can't just label it as a talkie live stream because we did do a bit of the Outer Worlds. Doing the live stream highlights of this is going to be... I might not bother doing a live stream highlights of this one actually. Because we're 1 week behind in the live stream highlights anyway. So, you know. We didn't do Oblivion to the end. No, we didn't. We didn't even start the main quest in Oblivion. I mean, to be fair, Oblivion doesn't really have an end, does it? We do something like House Flipper. I don't know. You see, the thing is, games like that don't really hold my attention. Hang on, I'll just drop a save. And I'll take us out, and then we can have a little look at my Steam library. Oh god, that's me. Hello. Hello, me. If I put us on... Cam, yep, that's right. We can have a little look at my Steam library. You know, just my small library. How many games have we got? Well, uncategorized, 188. 188? I was up to 400 and something. Was I not up to 400 and something? I swear I was up to 400 and something. I've got 67 ready to play games. 400 and something? Have I misremembered that? Or maybe that was like all of my games, like included on other things, not just on Steam. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, what have we got? I did get LA Noire. I thought that might be quite fun. I'm still set on doing a detective game because, you know, Murder on Eridanos is exciting and that's a detective thing. I tell you what I really want to do, which I think we're probably going to end up doing next, is I really want to do... Where is it? Oh, I really want to do Steel Rising, actually. Maybe not as a live stream, but I do want to play it. Where is it, man? I've probably gone past it. I have gone past it. Where is it? The Council. I really, really want to do that on the live streams. That's a very good puzzle game with a batshit crazy story. But the puzzles themselves are really good because they find that sweet spot. Because most puzzle games, or games with puzzles in them, are like, they go one of two ways. Either like they're for proper hardcore geniuses, you know, the kind of people who do like insanely difficult Sudoku puzzles and like do crosswords every day and things like that, and they're just like really genius level stuff, and nah, this isn't no genius sitting here. So I kind of do them. Or they do it where like they hold your hand so much to the point where it's not even really a puzzle and you don't even really feel like you've achieved anything. The Council gets that perfect sweet spot where it doesn't hold your hand, it doesn't over-explain anything, there's no quest markers or anything like that. You really do just have to figure shit out yourself. There's no like objective or anything, you just have to like figure it out. And the puzzles are hard enough that you really do feel like you've achieved something when you solve them, but easy enough that like I could do them. And I've solved every single puzzle without ever having to Google an answer, which I was very, very proud of the first time I played it. But they do, like, you feel like you've achieved something when you you know, you've got to actually think. And you've got to, like I say, there's no like objective, so half the time, like, the game doesn't tell you what it is you're supposed to be doing, you just have to figure it out, and I love that. It's, it's so good, but it's been so long since I've played it that I can't remember any of the... I mean, I think, did I play it on PlayStation the first time? I think I did, because it's not saying... Hang on a minute. Yeah, I don't have like a last played thing, so I mustn't have played it on PC yet. I think I played it on PlayStation the first time, but that would have been a while ago. So yeah, it's been long enough that I can't remember any of the puzzles. So we could play. I feel like that would be really fun. I've wanted to do it for ages, so I feel like we'll probably actually do that next. It's not a very long game though. But it's crazy. It's weird, because it's like split into chapters, and it's however many chapters, 6 I think, and like for about the first 5. It's set up much like a sort of Agatha Christie murder mystery type thing, where you go to this big mansion run by a, you know, rich person, and you're at a party on this big mansion on an island, and then people start dying and you have to like solve mysteries, and it's all very kind of normal, and then you get to the last chapter and it's just like, oh, also, by the way, demons exist. What? It's proper crazy. But like in a quite a fun way. It is really funny. It just like takes a swerve in completely a direction that you don't think it's going to. And then we want to play the Sexy Brutale as well, which is the one that my brother recommended. He reckons that'll only take like maybe 1 or 2 live streams to complete those, so we'll do that as well. So yeah, I think we maybe play some like littler games for a while. mean, there's so many games in here that I just never even... Like, I just buy them in sales, and then, like, look, I've now got all of Assassin's Creed, apart from Shadows. The only ones I've bloody played are Valhalla, which I haven't finished, Origins, which I got bored of, so didn't get very far into, and Odyssey, which I adored. I've not even played any of the others, but I picked them all up in sales, so I've just got all of Assassin's Creed. Like, when am I ever going to play all of Assassin's Creed? Honestly, I need help. I do. I'm addicted to buying games. I'm not addicted to playing them, I'm addicted to buying them. And Banished. Bless Banished. The trouble is, since Banished came out, so many games have come along that, like, take exactly what Banished did and then add to it, that when you go back and play Banished, it's a bit like, oh. I mean, I've put 154 hours into it, which is quite impressive for me. I do like Banished, though. I do like a bit of Banished. Oh, the Banner Saga's quite good as well. I quite enjoy the Banner Saga. That's a little, like, text-based game where you basically just pick dialogue options. You also have, like, an army that you have to manage. And then there's, like, different choices. Choices with consequences type thing. That's quite good. I quite enjoy playing the Banner Saga. And then, I mean, it's 3 games, but, like, it's basically 3 chapters of the same game. I do enjoy. Oh, there is combat in it. There is turn-based combat in it. So, you know, it's an interesting one. I quite like that one. I've got all the Batman, well, not all the Batman games. I've got these Batman games as well, which I haven't played yet. I can hear them too, bloody faffing about. With the bloody cat toy I bought them from B&M's. I went into B&M's, right? So you know how I bake a lot? Well, the 2 things that I like baking very, very frequently are custard creams and bourbons, right? Both of which require custard powder. So I get through quite a lot of custard powder, because I bake them quite a lot. Custard powder's expensive. And in the shop I work in, it's like £3.90 or something like that for a tub of custard powder, right? In B&M's, it's like £1.50, right? So it's more cost effective to go to B&M's to get the custard powder, right? But it doesn't really work that way, because what happens is, once a month I'll go to B&M's to stock up on custard powder, and while I'm in there, I buy a load of shit that I wouldn't otherwise buy. So I'm not really saving money, and it's sort of become a tradition that I always buy a cat toy, because I've got quite an impressive cat toy range in B&M's. So I always buy a cat toy for the cats. So I bought them this feather toy, you know, on the little stick, because those are their favourite, right? But they always end up destroying the feather within about a week, so, you know, I have to kind of keep resupplying them. So I bought them this feather toy that you can hear them playing with in the background on the little stick, right? And the cable ties that were keeping it tied to the cardboard were so tight, I could not get the scissors in to cut them. So I thought, maybe in me, I thought, I know, I'll use a kitchen knife. And the cats, because it's got a bell on it, they know it's a cat toy. They could hear it, so they were all round my feet trying to get to the cat toy while I'm trying to cut it out of the cardboard with a kitchen knife. And as I'm, you know when you're doing something and you think, this is a terrible idea, I should not be doing this. Like, really, you have to find a better way of doing this. This is a terrible idea, trying to get this off with a very sharp kitchen knife. And as I was thinking that, I stabbed myself through the hand with a kitchen knife. So there we go, that's my exciting story of the week. I think that was Monday, I think. Yeah. Things I go through for those cats. I did get the cable ties off though, so you know, that was the important thing. The cats got their cat toy while I was just bleeding into the sink. Oh dear. How much blood? It wasn't that bad actually, because it was quite, I mean, it was like a deep cut, but it was just little, like, it's not like the knife went through my hand, it was just like the tip of the blade, but like, you know, it's a very sharp knife, so it fucking hurt, really fucking hurt, but then like, hasn't even really left a scar particularly, not much of one, I can just, anyway. Oh, I've also got the Sherlock Holmes games. They were on sale. And they looked good. Do you know how many Sherlock Holmes games there are? Loads. If we put Sherlock Holmes... Hang on. Store. With a search bar. Where's me keyboard? What? We got Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes. Oops, shit. Holmes. Sherlock Holmes, I feel like, yeah, if we got Sherlock Holmes in. Look how many Sherlock Holmes games there are! Like, Jesus Christ, there's tons of them! Fucking hundreds. Most of them seem to be point and click ones though. But the ones that I got them in a bundle, and they seem to not be point and click ones. They seem to be more like gamey game ones. Story-driven detective thriller. A young Sherlock Holmes struggles to prove himself as he navigates an exotic, dangerous island in the Mediterranean to investigate the mystery of his mother's death. Yeah, I feel like they may be expanding on the Sherlock Holmes story a little bit. But anyway, I thought they might be quite interesting at some point. I've got Sniper Elite 4. Oh my god, we should totally play Sniper Elite 4 on a live stream. That would probably be a one-off live stream. I feel like that would be hilarious. I feel like, I mean, I haven't actually played it yet. I like games like that, where you get to be a sniper. But I feel like I'd probably be hilariously bad at it. That might be quite fun. I really need to go and blow my nose, you know. I just can't be bothered to get up. I need to have a box of hankies in here. I keep thinking that. And I just never do anything about it. Hey, space engineers. Those were the days. Space engineers might be quite a fun one, actually. Spore. Bloody hell, do you remember Spore? Apparently, I've only played 14.3 hours. I might have had the disc version when it first came out. It was not half as exciting as what it seemed like it was going to be. Stellaris. Surviving Mars. I quite enjoy Surviving Mars. I feel like we could do a little Surviving Mars series at some point. 2 Point Campus. 2 Point Campus, Welsh friend. I haven't played 2 Point Campus yet. I was looking at 2 Point Museum. It looks really good. I haven't bought it yet, but it looks really good. It's on my wish list. I really want it. I really want it, Welsh friend. The 2 Point Hospital, of course. I feel like I overplayed that though. I went back and played it a while back, and I was like, I feel like I overplayed it, and now I just don't get the same enjoyment from it anymore. It's Vampire the Masquerade. All the Witcher games. I've not played the first two, you know. I've played The Witcher 3 quite a few times. I always fancy doing a live stream version of that as well, but it would probably take us like a year to finish it. There were tons of Sherlock Holmes books. Were there? I don't know how many Sherlock Holmes books there were. I've never read any Sherlock Holmes. Just like, I've never found him that interesting, to be honest. I liked Basil the Great Mouse Detective. That's who I liked. That was probably legitimately my favourite Disney film as a kid. I loved Basil the Great Mouse Detective. That one and The Rescuers. There's something about the idea that mice have a little society. And they, yeah, that mice just live in this little society. But I'll tell you what, you'll laugh at this. This is prime Magpie, this. Right, so when little child Magpie, little girl Magpie with her little pigtails, was watching Basil the Great Mouse Detective, right? Despite the fact that it is called Basil the Great Mouse Detective, and they are all quite clearly mice, it did not twig in my brain that they were mice living a little mouse life in the human world, right? And you know how, like, there's a giant cat? There's a giant dog that they ride on, and there's a giant cat that tries to eat them. And then there's things like, there's a few times where there's humans appear, and you never actually see them, you just see the shadows of them, and they just look like massive, like, giants, right? And then, like, you know where they go to the toy shop and all the toys are huge? My little child brain never made the connection of the fact that they are mice living in the human world, and that's why everything is huge. My little child brain was just going, oh, apparently there's giant dogs in this world. And there's giant cats, and there's weird shadowy giants who are roaming around. I don't know what the hell that's all about. And I've got no idea why the toys are all huge. And it wasn't until I went back and watched it as probably like a teenager or something, I was like, oh, it's because they're mice. Oh, just never twigged in my brain. I was just like, oh, apparently in this world everything's giant for some reason. Oh dear. I'm gonna put full cat cam back on, even though there's not a cat, there's just me. But yeah, so. But weirdly with the rescuers, I got it. I figured it out with the rescuers. I was like, oh yeah, everything's massive because they're mice living in the human world, in their little mice community. But it did, Basil the Great Mouse Detective just didn't twig at all. Like Victorian writing. I don't think I've ever really read any Victorian writing, particularly. Any Victorian books. I've read stuff that's like older, like Frankenstein. I read Frankenstein. Christ almighty, that is the most boring book I've ever read in my entire life. Fucking hell. Call it a literary masterpiece. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's dull as ditch water. I feel like I'll tell her that after tomorrow I'll work every other Sunday. I think we'll do that for a while. I mean, I'm only doing it till October anyway. I just feel like mentally knowing that I'm not going to have to get up 6 days in a row will probably just make us feel better. You know. Our brain's weird. Isn't just the way your brain works weird? That's my deep thought for the day. Our brain's weird. Isn't being a human such a weird thing? Do you ever just sit and deep think it? Just deep think what, like, being a human actually is? It's very strange. Like, I find it very strange that, like, how disconnected our conscious mind is from our subconscious mind, but also how much our mind seems to be completely disconnected from our body. Like, you get a pain in your stomach, say, and you have literally no idea why you have a pain in your stomach. Unless you've eaten, like, 6 tons of chocolate or something like that. But, like, you know, you get a pain in your stomach, and you're like, okay, expand. Tell me what is actually happening. You know, don't just give me a mysterious pain that I'm then going to have to go to the doctors, and they can just guess what might be wrong. Like, you know, because pain is information being sent by the nervous system to the brain to say, how? Something's wrong. But it's like, expand. You know, communication would help. And then why does it sometimes give you like a disproportionate amount of pain for something that isn't that big of a deal, but something that is a big deal, no pain at all? Like, you can have cancer and literally not have a clue because you've got no symptoms, right? But if you get a paper cut, fucking hell do you know about it? Why? Or toothache. Why is toothache so painful? Like, it's not, I mean, I know toothache can be quite a serious thing, like, especially if you've got, like, an abscess or stuff like that. And I know there's horror stories about how abscesses can go up into the brain and things like that. And also, like, gum disease can cause heart disease and things. I do understand that. But in general, you know, if you've got toothache, it's not, like, the end of the friggin' world. Why does it need to hurt so much? Honestly. And when people say, oh, our bodies are incredible, like, no, they're not. They're flawed as shit. Like, they could be a lot better. Trust me. Used to think like that when I was your age. Now I'm just happy to be alive and have gin. Okay, that's fair enough. I like to have my little philosophical thinky sessions though, where I'm just like, why? Just why? And stupid things like when you're ill, the best thing for you is sleep. But often when you're ill, you know, your immune system is fighting said illness, and that produces symptoms. And those symptoms keep you awake. When you have a cold, one of the best things for you is to get lots of fluids, but you also have a sore throat, and it becomes really difficult to fucking drink anything. Like, you're not helping me here, buddy. Oh, Welshfred's got on a bathroom break. I think it's just her and Fred listening in his car, so, you know. That's alright. I think we'll go till 7 o'clock. That seems like a good stopping point. Since I'm just sitting here talking. The Outer Worlds is shut down. I've shut the Outer Worlds down. It's gone. If you're tuning in for an Outer Worlds live stream, go and watch last week's. Last week's was quite good. Quite a good live stream, that one. This one, not so much. We've hit on one of my not so great periods at the minute. Oh. You know what? Just like a week ago, I was going, you know what? I'm feeling really good at the minute. I'm feeling very mentally stable. And it turns just like that. Not that I'm feeling mentally unstable. I'm not. It's just, you know. It's fine. Fred, you better not be commenting while driving. So, 15 minutes. What should we talk about for 15 minutes? Something will have turned it. Honestly, I think it's the work in the Sundays, to be honest. Because like last week, after I finished the live stream, I didn't sleep, you see, that night. I think just knowing that I had to be up on the Sunday when I don't normally. But then, like the Sunday night and the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I slept. But then the Thursday, I tell you what it was, I stopped back an hour. That was what I did. I stopped back an hour, so I worked a 9-hour shift there. And I think you can see again, just like the tiniest little change in my routine can completely knock us off. And I think I was thinking, because I hadn't slept on the Saturday night, I think it was in my head that, like, you know, and knowing that I had like 6 more shifts left, it just knocks us off a little bit. That's it. daughter has anxiety and it's always something that triggers, yeah, oh, it's the worst thing, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm anxious. I'm feeling similar. Do you remember last year? I went a bit weird. How could you ever tell the difference? I remember it was a Dragon Age Inquisition live stream, and I started talking about how I'd been anxious, and that was when we had the pink elephants conversation. And that was just, that's awful when something triggers it, and then you're just generally anxious. And then to the point where you get anxious about being anxious, and it just puts you in a heightened state of like that, just like constantly for a while, and then eventually it passes. I'm not like that. Like, the anxiety hasn't kicked in. But it's a similar feeling of when things just don't feel right. And I hate it. I hate it when things just don't feel right. And it's like, I like everything to just be. You stop enjoying things you normally enjoy. I don't like that. That's more depression than that is when you stop enjoying things. I find that depression is when you stop enjoying things that you normally enjoy. Anxiety, for me personally, is when I stop enjoying my own company. Because I'm quite a loner. I mean, I need social interaction, and I need, you know, if I go like a week without speaking to anybody, I start to like lose my grip on reality. Because I get too much in my own head. But I like my own company. Like, I like coming home to an empty flat. I like having my day off. Like, on my day off, I tend not to want to see anybody. I like to just, you know, exist in my own bubble on a day off. When I'm anxious, I stop enjoying my own company. I want people around me. And I hate that. I'm neither of those things at the minute. I'm just... And I think also it's the fact that because it's the school holidays, and there's been a lot of people who at work who like friends who have been on holiday. Like the last 2 weeks particularly. There's been a couple of people who I'm used to being in who haven't been in. And they're like the sort of people you know, like the people that you go to when you have something to tell. Do you know what I mean? If something happens, they're the people I'll go to and tell. Not necessarily something bad, just like, you know, even something funny. But also they're the ones who are like, if something bad does happen, I'm like beeline for them kind of thing, and they haven't been in. And that always bothers us a little bit, I think. I think I don't get me like proper social interaction. That's another thing. It just knocks us off. It just knocks us off. I'm too oversensitive to stuff like this, honestly. I'm just like, tiniest little like, oh, and I'm like, oh. But it'll pass. It always does. That's what I've learned. And I used to, in the past, when I went through something like this, I would get really stressed about it and really frustrated, and that makes it worse and it makes it go on longer. Whereas now, I'm a lot more zen about the whole thing. I'm just like, do you know what? Just try not to think about it too much. And in a couple of weeks, you'll be back to your normal self and you won't even remember. Like, you know, that's what I always say. I always say, like, you know, when you're having a bad day, or a bad couple of days, or a bad week, or whatever, the thing I always say is, like, in a year, you won't even remember. I mean, even if you remember it happened, you won't remember the ins and outs of it. Like, you know. It's fine. It's like waiting for a cold to get better, isn't it? You just have to endure it until it goes away. Like I say, so yeah, like over the summer holidays, everything does feel a bit different. The shop feels different, because like, you know, the whole routine is different, because normally like, it's quiet in the morning, and then you have like, post-school run time, you have people come in, because obviously people do the school run and then come and do their shopping, kind of thing. And there's like, you know, there's a sort of nice rhythm to it. Whereas in the holidays, you can never really predict. It's usually quiet right up until about 11:30, and then people start coming in, but they come in like a wave, and there's kids everywhere, and sometimes it's a whole family outing, You've got the fucking grandparents and the parents and the children, and you just think, for fuck's sake, can you not think of something better to do than come shopping? Jesus. So the whole shop just feels, everything just feels different. It's also why I get like this at Christmas. Because things just feel different. I don't like it when things are different. I like everything to just be on an even keel. What I use is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is like living in the moment, isn't it? That's like focusing on the here and now. Am I right about that? Rather than like stressing about future possibilities. Because I do find I'm typically quite good at living in the moment. But I find when the moment that you're living in is not a particularly nice moment, it's a good idea to be able to live outside of the moment. Like, just to be able to go, in a week you'll probably be fine. At some point you'll be fine. It's not like it's going to be like this for the rest of your life. At some point in the future, you're going to be fine again. It's fine. Just don't worry. Just wait it out. Stops rumination. Ah, yes. Rumination is a bugger. Although I'm quite good at not ruminating these days, generally. I try to be. I lose myself in fictional worlds. That's always been my coping mechanism. I just start thinking about Mass Effect. I start dreaming up, like, scenes for fan fictions and things. It's a good coping strategy. When your brain's, you know... I still got the cat blanket over the back of my chair, I've just realised. I hung it over there because I'd washed it when I was doing my flea extermination. And I hung it outside to dry, and then when I brought it in, it was almost dry. But I didn't have anywhere else to hang it because I had loads of other stuff hung up because I'd washed everything. So I hung it over the back of the chair. I just realised it's still there. The other one's hanging on the radiator. And then they've got a pink one as well, a pink Aristocats one that I think is hanging somewhere. I do think there's something hormonal going on though, because Christ, you would not believe the heat coming off me. Jesus. Are you two fighting? Uh-huh. Scorpio, did you just eat a bit of carpet? Says the cat who will not eat chicken. But oh, he'll eat a bit of friggin' carpet. He'll eat plastic. He's a bugger for eating like plastic bags and things like that. It drives me mad. But he won't eat chicken. He won't even eat like real fish anymore. They used to. I used to get cod for them. And they used to eat it. But now, no. They want the crappy, cheap cat food that doesn't have anything good in it. I used to give them like proper fish once a week. Just so that I knew they were getting something like, you know, proper. I mean, I know the dried food has nutrients in it and stuff. But, you know. But now they just won't eat it. They'll have like a tin of tuna if I put that down for them. But tuna's not meant to be very good for them because it's very high in fat. They occasionally have it as a treat. I give them tuna water because I buy the tuna that's in the spring water, and when I drain it, instead of draining it down the sink, I just drain it into a little bowl for them. And they like that. They like the tuna water. Definitely too young for the menopause. I mean, early onset menopause really can't come on at like any age. Yeah, there are people in their 20s who go through early onset menopause. I don't think it's menopause though, Welsh friend. I don't. I just think because my period was 2 weeks late, I think it's just sent my body into a bit of a something. It's just having a moment. But then again, the hormones could be triggered by me feeling that things are a bit not right, couldn't they? I mean, I don't know. Your bodies are weird. I don't know. It's probably best not to question it too much, to be honest. The more you question it, the more you think about it, and then... I don't know if you catch like fish or chicken, but they eat sardines. Mine won't eat sardines. Or, what's the other ones I've tried them on? Mackerel? I've tried them on that as well, and they won't have that. They've become a lot fussier as they got older, actually. When they were kittens, they would eat pretty much anything. And I mean, and they're not, like, really fussy. You know, like how some cats they'll eat a particular type of cat food for a certain amount of time, and then they'll stop eating that type of cat food. And then you have to try and guess what they're going to eat. Mine aren't like that. They like the Sheba fish in the gravy. And that's what they eat. And as long as you put that down, they will eat it. They will lick the plate clean. And also, the Sheba do, like, little tubs. They're quite expensive. They're, like, $1.18 a tub. And it's, like, just enough for one meal for a cat. So I don't get it for them very often. They get it about once a week. And they've got, like, actual meat in them. In gravy. And they will eat them. They always, like, lick the plate clean when I put them down. So, I mean, and that's, like, actual proper meat. And they do eat that. But yeah, if you try to give them food in jelly, no. If you try and give them anything other than the Sheba, no. If you try and give them the poultry in gravy, they'll eat a bit. They mostly just lick the gravy off and leave the food. Oh, for fuck's sake. And then the dried food, they like the Purina. That's kind of it. I used to get IAMs for them, but they weren't keen on the IAMs. There was once when it was like the week before payday and I was really trying not to spend too much money. And I needed dried food. And the Purina is like £20 for a big bag. And it's less cost effective to buy the smaller bags. So I got them some of like the Felix dried food. Because it was only like £5. And I thought it's not going to be great for them, but you know, it'll be alright for a week or two. And they ate it. They ate it fine. They had no problem eating it. But I swear to God, that litter tray was not a pleasant experience when they were eating the Felix dried food. I was like, we'll not get that one again. One of them liked Stilton cheese and red kidney beans. Do you know what Star really likes? And Scorpio likes it too, but not as much as Star. Watermelon. A melon generally, actually. If I buy a melon, or if I buy like, I don't usually buy a full melon because then you've got to like cut it up. And that's like work. I'll usually buy the melon chunks. They'll eat melon. They bloody love melon. And wraps. You know, like wraps. You know, wraps that you make wraps with. You know, them. They love them. If you break a bit of that and chuck it for them, they'll love them. Weirdos. Yeah, stop meowing. Probably fighting. Play fighting, but still. Scorpio will turn up with some of Star's fur hanging out of his mouth, because he always does. He'll always have a clump of our fur hanging out of his mouth, and I'm like... Well, it's 7 o'clock. I said we would go till 7 o'clock. Don't understand wraps. They're delicious. I like a wrap. They're just nice. Trouble is, I mean, I don't buy them very often. I mean, I'm more likely to buy, like, a wrap, like, with stuff in it. You know, like, from a meal deal. I love a wrap. I love a duck wrap. Oh, beautiful. I don't often buy, like, just plain wraps to make my own wraps with. But I do sometimes. I've put, like... I used to put stir fry in, actually. But I think stir fry was one of those things. I ate stir fry so often because I liked it so much. I sickened myself of it. And now I literally cannot even stomach the thought of a stir fry. I don't know what it was. I loved stir fry. I used to make stir fry all the time. And now I'm just like, oh, nah. But I used to make stir fry and put it in a wrap. I mean plain wraps or wraps with stuff in. So plain wraps, like, are what the cat's like. If I buy a pack of plain wraps to, like, you know, make stuff with. I have been known to actually just eat them plain. I actually quite like that. I will just, like, rip bits off a wrap and just eat it. Oh, there's something, like, lovely and stodgy about them. And if I rip bits off and throw them for the cats like them. Can overdo it and then go off it. Yeah, I know. Or sometimes, you know, sometimes, like, you have something that you really like, but then you make it once and you maybe put something in it that isn't so nice, or it doesn't turn out so nice, and then you go off it forever. I went off corned beef hash for the longest time. Because, I mean, I loved corned beef hash. I've always loved corned beef hash. And then I made this corned beef hash this time. And I think I just made it too, like, wet. There was just too much, like, liquid in it. Because I always put, like, a bit of tomato sauce in. But I've sometimes put a tin of beans in as well. And I think I'd put a tin of beans in and then I'd put tomato sauce in. And I'd used mashed potato, and I prefer it when it's in chunks rather than mashed, but I'd use mashed potato this time. And I think I'd use, like, the, you know, like the shop bought mash, where it's more like a paste. And I'm not keen on that. I like my mash to be chunky, but I think I just had that for some reason, and I threw that in, and it was just, like, wet and horrible, and it was, like, the worst texture in the world. And honestly, it was awful. And I went off corned beef hash for the longest time. I couldn't even think about making it. I have since made it again. But I don't feel like I enjoy it like I used to. I used to love corned beef hash. Now I'll make a corned beef hash and I sort of look at it and I'm like, well, I'll eat it. Oh. Or also, have you ever had anything where, like, you've eaten it and then afterwards you've been ill and then you can never stomach it again? I remember when I was probably about 3 years old, my mother made a golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. And she made it herself. It wasn't like a shop bought one. It was one she made, and we had it with custard. And I had a stomach bug, unbeknownst to me, when I was eating the golden syrup pudding. I had a stomach bug, and about an hour after I'd eaten the golden syrup pudding, I threw up said golden syrup pudding all over the sofa. And to this day, I cannot eat golden syrup sponge pudding. I can eat any other kind of sponge pudding, but not golden syrup. In fact, golden syrup generally, I'm a bit about. My brother used to put golden syrup on ice cream, and I'm just like, oh, no. No. Oh, ah. Anyway, we should probably wrap things up. beholding a sister's hair while she threw up in the toilet after drinking Southern Comfort. Just the smell of it turns her greener. I've heard a lot of people. I mean, like, I'm not a drinker. I've never been drunk. I've been tipsy, but I've never been drunk. But I mean, a lot of people have stories about drinking a particular type of drink to the point of like, well, yes, and then they can just never stomach it again, like tequila and stuff. No, I've never seen the appeal of being drunk. I've never seen the appeal of being high. I don't even like taking codeine. I'm that boring. That's alright. No wrong with being boring. Right. So. I say, we wrap things up there. I say that next week, I will not be working for Sunday, and we shall have another live stream at 3:30 GMT at the normal time. And hopefully it will be an Outer Worlds live stream where we will continue the Murder on Eridanos DLC. I hope so, because if it is, that means I'm back to my usual self. And I'm bored of not being my usual self. I'm just bored of it. I'm just like, come on, man, please stop together. Hello, woman. Yes, but anyway, either way. Either way, there will be a live stream next week, most likely, at 3:30 GMT. Hopefully it will be in Outer Worlds Murder on Eridanos live stream, where Titwillow will, Inspector Titwillow, will solve crimes. And maybe try and find some new wives. Because, you know, she needs more wives. You can never have too many wives. Never have too many wives. I mean, until you get to the point where, like, you can't remember who's who, and you have to have, like, a little pocketbook with all their names in, and, you know, like, where you met them and things like that, so that when they're talking to you, you can be like, hang on, which wife are you? You know, at that point, you probably have too many wives. That's probably a few too many to deal with, but, you know, at the minute, Titwillow is in the market for more wives, so, you know, we'll go on a wife hunt next week, hopefully. So this has been a kind of, like, half Outer Worlds, half talkie live stream. It's fine. It's fine. You just gotta deal with it, man. Go with the flow. I switched my snug out for a ring. I can't remember if I told you that already. There we go. That was a bit of exciting news for you. I think it looks nicer. I think it looks nice. I like it. It's cool. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Bye bye, Welsh friend and Fred, who was probably driving. I shall see you next week, and we shall have fun and giggles and do stuff probably, but anyway, I'll see you.